I want this podcast to be heard from space. It's Holiday Phosphorescence. Seen from space? I don't know. Can you see a podcast? Hello, everyone.
Under a microscope.
Hello, everyone. Who's your daddy? It's me, your host, Thoreau Smiley. Who else is here?
Oh, were you with the reindeer? Josh Cece.
I'm Brian Lesh, and I'm afraid these glasses are going to make me look hot.
When I make this hand signal, it means I'm going to talk weird. I'm Alaric Weber.
I meant to say camel. Movie.
And this is Holiday Phosphorescence. It's your yearly deep dive movie podcast where we pick Christmas movies or holiday movies. We Hanukkah. We don't care. Not Eight Crazy Nights, though. Fuck that movie. We pick holiday movies. We watch them. We talk about them. And then we record ourselves, and hopefully you listen to it. That's how podcasts work. Anyways, this show...
Getting real bare bones.
Yeah. This show's brought to you by our patrons. Patrons like executive producers Michael Beckwith and Atticus Burkett. You want to be a patron too? Just go to patreon.com/harmlessentertainment. There's a lot of bonus content up there. We just did, what was our last monthly movie?
Go. Oh, wait.
Thanksgiving.
Monthly movie?
Thanksgiving. Yeah, that was our last one. We just did Thanksgiving. That's up there. If you want to... If you want to watch a movie about a turkey that kills people.
And talks.
And talks.
And talks.
The real surprise was the talking.
And puts on costumes.
And fucked.
And fucked. But wears a condom. He practices safe sex. So
That's right.
that is patreon.com/harmlessentertainment. $1 a month is all you need. This week, though, on our second episode of Holiday Phosphorescence, we're watching Deck the Halls.
In the peaceful town of Cloverdale, Dr. Stephen Finch was Mr. Christmas.
It's a busy time of year, so we have to have a game plan. All must-sing caroling requests to be submitted in writing.
Until the competition moved in.
Who moves in the middle of the night?
I'm Buddy Hall. We just moved in across the street.
These are my babies. Can I live here?
Daddy, come look. You can see every house in the country from space.
Where's our house?
You can't see our house.
Just hoping that one day I'd do something big. Buddy.
Around here, I'm the Christmas guy.
I don't think so.
Now they're going head to head
Watch and learn.
for the holidays.
That's gonna swell up.
But the holidays
Got the next 5 years of trees all lined up.
How'd you like to chop it down with my chainsaw?
might not be big enough
Does anyone smell gas?
for the both of them.
I guess I'm the new Christmas guy. This isn't over yet.
You're gonna cut his power, aren't you? SpongeBob, this is SquarePants.
What?
He's coming! This is the best Christmas ever.
We're gonna settle this like men.
They're acting like a bunch of 12-year-olds.
You want lights? I'll give you lights.
Oh, gosh.
You sure you've been watering that thing? It went up awfully fast.
This November,
You're gonna stand here and you're gonna work it out.
Now that is something we could agree on.
Hey, baby, who's your daddy?
Dad?
Oh, God. I'm your daddy. I'm your daddy.
Regency Enterprises presents Dan Devito,
I really want my house to be seen from space.
Matthew Broderick,
I like the way you've duct taped the antlers to their heads.
Apparently, reindeer are not indigenous to the region. Whoa, I didn't see that coming.
in the brightest Christmas story ever.
He's real! I knew it!
That could have ended badly.
Deck the halls.
Where are my clothes?
I had to get your body temperature up, so I zipped us into this sleeping bag. Trust me, it works.
Okay. Deck the Halls.
That trailer had more tension than they were able to create at any point.
That trailer was the exact length of time that you want to watch this movie.
Yeah, that was enough.
That was the whole thing.
Did you guys catch that it was like Face Off, like deck the halls, and then deck the halls.
No,
Buddy Hall.
Yeah, no, his Buddy Hall, and you want to deck him because he's so annoying. You're gonna deck the halls.
You're gonna deck the halls. You're gonna deck.
I did not put that together. That's really funny.
I didn't either. Andrew did. I was like, let's see if any of us did.
No, I found out by reading Wikipedia. I did not put it together. Deck.
And in the trailer, they point out the stupid, like you can see every house from space. Where's our house? You can't see our house.
No, this.
It's like, I don't think you know what every means.
And also, I don't. What? What are you talking about? Why you can't? You can see every house but this one because that's what?
What? I know. And Stevens, who's. Oh, yeah, we'll get there. Why is he Mr. Christmas? I saw nothing.
Yeah.
He has
uptight about it with
trees,
his family.
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, that was interesting. I kind of like that.
That's
we'll wait and get there, but Deck the Halls.
Deck the Halls was released November 22nd, 2006 at a running time of 93 minutes. At a budget of $51 million. This thing cost $51 million.
What? And it all went to the lights.
Yeah.
I mean, they built two houses and paid, $100,000 for
it was
lights,
a little bit
basically.
effects heavy, and I'm sure Broderick and Devito both got a couple million apiece.
All right, so I'll tell this story real quick. There's another movie podcast that's fantastic, probably the second best one next to ours. But how did this get made?
Yeah.
And they did this, and Jason Mantzoukas, he was telling a story about how he knew somebody who worked on the set of Deck the Halls, and he said at one point he caught Matthew Broderick off by himself, walking in a circle, muttering, "This is a low. This is the low. This is a low."
Oh my God!
And he's like, "I want to remind everyone that he killed a man. This is his low."
Oh my God! He's not wrong. This is a low.
I don't know if he was offered, and he was always so particular, but this should have been Charles Grodin and Danny DeVito.
Yeah. Oh, that would have been great.
Matthew Broderick did not pull off uptight well enough. Like this guy, these people did not really have a rivalry. They didn't really.
No.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They had a neighbor relationship. It wasn't really over the top.
No. Yeah. The DeVito and Broderick had a zero chemistry.
Yeah, they were acting past each other, not even with each other or at each other. Just
he's like, I'm going to be uptight. Then we'll just see how that goes.
Yeah, they were on two such different wavelengths. It was ridiculous. I kept thinking
there was no animosity.
I kept thinking Jason Bateman would have been a better one for Broderick's role. I think he would have bounced off DeVito in a fun way. But yeah,
I think like 5 years later though. This is a little early.
Yeah, I was a little young for it at this point. But it cost $51 million. It only made $47 million. It was not embraced by America.
You know who this movie really needed though is Arnold.
Oh my God! If it had been Arnold versus
I thought the same thing.
I'm a Christmas obsessed Austrian. My family is obsessed with Christmas trees. It kind of writes itself.
That would have
Arnold.
That would have,
and twins and all that stuff.
That would have instantly bumped this up like 50%. I think
it probably would have made all the money it needed to make. Then again, he was the governor at the time, I think. So
yeah, fair.
Still making movies though.
Because Buddy, the character is supposed to be like Aykroyd in Neighbors or Peter Falk in The In-Laws or something. Just the over-the-top annoying guy. This guy was really nice. Buddy is a really nice guy. He just became obsessed with this weird stupid plot point.
Well,
but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like at the
He
end
does
when they
steal
start
newspapers and coffee.
that's what I mean. They should, if Broderick was better, they could have played up on that kind of antic-y, like the neighbor who does that kind of shit. Like
The small irritants.
right. But buying a car in his name, that came out of nowhere all of a sudden. It's like, wow, vengeance just ramped the fuck up.
Yeah.
And nobody really was acting that way. I don't know.
Yeah. No, yeah, there was a lot of them not doing anything to each other, just kind of doing things past each other, and then all of a sudden they did, and then it ended.
But you're right. If it was Arnold, there would have been a lot of the fist shaking back and forth, like, oh, buddy. Oh.
Yeah.
But even Jingle All the Way had a understandable and relatable plot. It went over the top, but he's trying to get a toy that's very rare for his kid.
He's a mattress salesman.
It would be cool if you could see my decorations on Google Earth.
Yeah.
I don't want to get too deep into it, but Buddy is very adept at pushing buttons, and he knows he's doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Like throughout the movie, he's got this nice exterior, but underneath, he wants to press those buttons.
Right.
He knows it annoys him.
Yeah.
Sure.
And Broderick isn't giving him a performance that pushes his buttons enough. There's nothing wrong with Danny DeVito ever.
Yeah.
Dude comes to work and he knows what he's doing.
100%.
But you're right, Al. That character should have been more annoying. But Broderick was sort of like, we're not hanging the reef today. Hey, buddy.
Yeah.
Let's try to be friends.
Yeah, Broderick was not good in this. Not good at all in this.
The thing I think would have made up for his performance maybe is if they had changed the plot to have him start to try and compete with the Christmas lights.
Yes. If Mr. Christmas was, if there was a genuine rivalry,
that would have been something. Yes.
It would have been something instead of him dressing like he's fucking Tom Cruise and wearing those weird yellow hunting glasses.
Oh, that was so
night.
dumb. That was all so dumb.
How did this do at the box office?
It cost 51. It made 47. And so let's play the box office.
And Mr. Christmas doesn't even decorate his house.
Right.
Okay.
Right. He doesn't have any lights up. What is that?
He doesn't help the town. He's not like putting it. He just says, yeah, that's a tree.
Yeah. He's like, I like your tree. It's good this year.
It's looking good.
Pick.
Fuck Mr. Christmas.
Sorry.
All right, let's play
10,
the box
2006.
office top 10. Yeah.
Fuck Mr. Christmas.
November.
He sounds like a terrible magician who works 3 months a year.
Was this your reindeer? November 22nd, 2006, the box office top 10 game. This is the game where I will describe the top 10 movies of the week, and these fellas here are going to try to guess what movie I am describing.
Kennedy was shot that day. Not in 2006. November 26th.
Oh, it was 2006. They just want you to think it was.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. And it was Elvis who shot him.
Yeah.
That bullet just took a long time to travel back in time.
I love the whole, like, do you think Elvis is still alive? It's like, no. Even if he hadn't died that day and went into hiding, dude would be like 90 years old.
Yeah. He's dead anyways. He was, 300 pounds.
Yeah. At number...
And so?
Yeah. At opening at number 10 this week of November 22nd, 2006... A modern-day scientist struggles with mortality and desperately searches for the medical breakthrough that will save the life of his cancer-stricken wife. That.
Oh, is this that Star Trek?
No, but that is definitely a description of this movie, not the one that I would have come up with were I writing it.
I feel like, is this like an Aronofsky movie or something?
Yes.
Is this the bubble one? What is that called?
Fountain.
The Fountain. The bubble.
It's The Fountain.
Yeah,
yes.
It opened at number 10.
Yeah. It opened at
Oh my
number
God.
10.
It's an Aronofsky, I guess.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That it sounded like an Aronofsky movie to my brain.
That's weird that description did. A scientist tries to cure his wife.
Yeah.
Yeah. At number 9 this week, the destinies of 22 people are intertwined on the night that RFK is assassinated.
Oh, this is an Emilio Estevez joint. Is it Bobby?
It's Bobby. Bobby.
Hey, wow. So the day of Kennedy's assassination, a movie about Bobby does pretty well.
Weird.
The poster is fine. It's just a bunch of people, a bunch of people, a bunch of actors we all know. But one of them is William H. Macy, and he's just doing like that stare that he does. Like, well, I can't take you seriously.
Is Sirhan on the poster? Did he make it?
Did what? Who?
Sirhan.
Oh, I don't. Let's see. Who was playing him? I don't know. Maybe if he was played by Elijah Wood. That's the only one that could possibly be Sirhan on this poster.
I wonder if that's RFK Jr.
Or Lindsay Lohan.
Oh. Inspired.
RFK isn't really much of a character.
Yeah.
It's like, he's doing one of those.
My little brother is a lawyer. I gave him a job.
Yeah, and then he went after all the people that got me elected.
Yeah.
Right to their face.
Yeah, like that was maybe not the best move, Bobby.
No, I don't think so.
That may have turned things badly for the Kennedys on a couple fronts, Bobby.
I think so, yeah. You don't ask San Giancana to get you elected and then be like, we're going to clamp down on organized crime.
I don't know, though. I think things are finally coming up Kennedy. I think that RFK is safe in the public spotlight.
Anyway, opening at number 8.
And his brain worm. Sorry.
Yeah.
At number 8 this week for November 22nd, 2006, the story of an uptown rat.
Yeah. Uptown rat. He's been living in his downtown. Yeah. All right.
Who travels through the pipes from his penthouse into the sewers of London, where he has to learn a whole new and different way of life. Yes, flushed away.
Yeah, it's like a Prince and a Pauper. It's the Aardvark Studios.
From the creators of Shrek and Wallace and Gromit. Oh, Lord. At number 7.
If you can't trust the makers of Shrek, who can you trust?
The answer is nobody. You can't trust nobody. Opening, or not opening, but at number 7 this week, or opening, who cares? You guys don't know when this movie came out.
2006 feels like 80 years ago and 3.
Yeah, exactly. At number 7 this week, an IRS auditor suddenly finds his mundane Chicago life to be the subject of narration only he can hear.
Oh.
Stranger Than Fiction?
Stranger Than Fiction.
Yep.
Starring Will Ferrell, Dustin Hoffman, Emma Thompson, and Queen Latifah.
Yes.
Never saw it.
Yeah, I never saw it.
I love how many weird pairings Queen Latifah has as an actress.
Yeah.
She goes with everything, I will say.
She goes
really
with
does.
everything.
Oh, yeah. I'm never mad to see Queen
Holiday
Latifah.
is a charming movie.
Yeah, I'm never sad about Queen Latifah showing up. At number 6 this week, Santa is faced with double duty. How to keep his new family happy and how to stop Jack Frost from taking over Christmas.
The Santa Claus something Jack Frost.
The Santa Claus 3, the Escape Clause.
Oh, God. That's the colons for, I guess.
And
the do not resuscitate.
Yeah, with Martin Short as Jack Frost. But
yeah,
the tagline is "'Twas the fight before Christmas."
Oh shit.
This Santa Claus 3 did remarkably better than Deck the Halls.
Yeah,
not surprisingly. That's probably a terrible movie.
Oh,
but it's a movie.
Yeah, I'm positive it's a terrible movie. Yes, but it is an actual movie.
It's a franchise.
Yeah.
People were already invested in.
At number 5 this week, a TV host heads to the United States.
Oh, is it Borat?
My wife. Yes, it is
My bad.
Borat. Yes, Borat came out in 2006, Brian. I see the look of horror on your face.
Holy shit.
Is that the one where
2006.
Giuliani took
No, that was the sequel.
Borat 2.
That was the sequel.
Okay.
Yeah, the original Borat was the original Borat was innocent compared to
The strange racism that we allowed in 2006.
Right.
Oof.
Just unquestioned.
I was watching the Macy's parade and they were showing like older clips, and there was one from 90 or 93. I don't know, but Giuliani with his kid, that little fat kid that Chris Farley used to play. That kid is just dead ass staring down the camera like the Omen.
He's an attorney now, and he represents his father oftentimes, and it is the funniest shit ever.
I'm sure.
Oh my god!
Bright red hair and that
it was just-
1,000-yard stare.
It was so quaint to see him. You know what this was well before 9/11, but it's just like, oh, look at him. He's just a mayor with his goofy kid. Anyways.
Have you guys ever seen a picture of Kazakhstan, like of the capital, Kazakhstan?
Yeah, it's crazy.
I don't know.
That country's crazy.
No, it's like a socialist, fucking modern. I don't want to call it a utopia, but like a modern industrial city, which is just insane. Yeah, literally, because of fucking what's his name and Borat. We all think that they all like fuck their neighbors and like fuck each other's goats.
No, but
like, no, they're a
It had a lot to do with the
Isn't
breaking of the Soviet Union. And
isn't
the satellite
that isn't that the country where they have everything like built all fancy, but no one actually uses any of the buildings or anything?
No, everybody uses those buildings.
What country am
Is
I
that
thinking
North
of?
Korea?
No, not North
I mean,
Korea. It's one of the.
China has entire cities that are ghost cities. That
Sure, but
there's
a country with a dictator who like makes in the middle, like somewhere in the Kazakhstan area, like northern Middle East, like
interesting
that where like he keeps building out cities that look super fancy that are like inlaid with like ivory and stuff, but no one uses it because they are all out herding their goats.
Yeah, man.
I mean, I'm sure there's a ton of goat farmers and stuff. But
Sure.
Yeah, there's a couple.
Like to represent the country as like shacks is hilarious.
Sure.
And like that country has been set back by one dude's comedy more than any one dude's comedy, probably.
Opening at number 4 at the box office for November 22nd, 2006, Two Neighbors Have It Out after one of them decorates his house.
That's all. The other one doesn't.
Yeah. Oh. Deck the Halls opens at number 4. Opening at number 3. Wow. It's funny how, just so many movies I do not remember. After a ferry is bombed in New Orleans, an ATF agent joins a unique investigation.
Is this Jim Caviezel and Denzel?
Denzel, yeah. Absolutely.
This is a time travel movie?
It is. It's called Deja Vu.
There we go. I saw this in
That
theaters.
seems a lot like, what was that Gyllenhaal movie where he kept going through time and there was a train crash or explosion or something? There was a Gyllenhaal one where he had to keep reliving a train thing to investigate it from the future.
Weird.
Was it Nick of Time?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I just watched what's the Tom Cruise movie where he travels through time?
Edge of Tomorrow.
Edge of Tomorrow. I watched it because of the director of Go directed Edge of Tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
And it was really fun.
Yeah, it's
watching that movie, thinking of Go, like how far that guy has come.
Yeah,
I enjoy Tom Cruise. It's like Mel Gibson. Like I understand they're problematic, but they're captivating on screen.
After doing Go, I watched Edge of Tomorrow, and then I watched all of the Mission Impossible movies that I had caught up with, and I'm caught up with the Mission Impossible series. I watch movies while I work sometimes.
I'm like 5 behind on Mission Impossible.
Honestly, they fucking keep getting better. And I want to do those movies now. They had not crossed my mind as a series.
I've been thinking of them. It's just
I bet it's so fun.
At this point, there's so many. It's like Fast and Furious. Like I want to do that one, but there's so many.
We don't want to do it in the same year as Fast and the Furious or Alien at this point.
Yeah, I mean, there's 6 of those.
So like, I don't know. I feel like those big series would have to be broken up or something because they're big.
I mean, Fast and Furious, yes.
Yeah.
I saw the first one and I saw Tokyo Drift. And Tokyo Drift was, again, I was working at group homes at this time, so I had nothing but teenage boys that, so they got to choose the movies. Yeah. One time I went and saw Dewey Cox, but of course I wasn't going to get them to.
Sure. No, I think it's hilarious that the Fast and the Furious is a movie series where people say it doesn't get good until the 5th movie.
Yeah, that says a lot.
Man, the only time I will ever accept that is Star Wars. Because the 5th movie is the 2nd movie, I guess.
Sure.
That's true. That's a patchwork fandom.
Yeah.
There's just so much you have to pick and choose. It's like Marvel.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't like Ms. Marvel. Okay, well, there's 100,000 other characters. Shut up.
Yeah, exactly. At number 2 this week, a secret agent sets out on his first mission.
The freshman. He's a spy. Oh, he's a double agent.
The secret agent.
Oh, is it Get Smart?
It is not Get Smart. The Steve
Is
Carell.
it the first Jason Bourne movie?
It is
The Bourne Identity.
It is not Jason Bourne. That was like 2002, I think, 3.
Oh, wow.
Something. Yeah, it was early.
Is it Casino Royale?
It is Casino Royale. Yes, indeed.
I also saw that in theaters.
Right, that is his first.
Yep.
Jimmy Bond.
And at number 1 this week, I don't even want to describe it. This is a movie that is considered a semi-masterpiece by the director of Mad Max Fury Road.
I don't know who directed that. It's not George Miller?
George Miller, yeah.
So, George Miller considers this a masterpiece?
This is kind of considered a minor masterpiece by George Miller. George Miller doesn't consider it. Others consider it one of his. It's a George Miller.
Oh, okay.
It's a
Babe Pig in the City?
No, that is also one though.
That is one.
It's the Penguin movie.
Happy Feet. Yes,
Happy Feet.
Oh,
it's crazy to me that George Miller has worked on 3, has what are considered masterpieces in 3 different
he's
franchises.
Frank Oz-like.
Yeah, and one of them is Happy Feet, and one's Babe, and one of them's Mad Max. Yeah,
Happy Feet was good. The first one was cute.
Yeah. Happy Feet at number 1, it would go on to make $384 million.
Wow. That dude prints money when he makes movies.
Not with Furiosa.
Yeah, that's fair. It had a lady in the role in the lead.
Yeah, ladies.
It was really
I
fucking
can deal with that.
I saw a YouTube thing, like a YouTube thumbnail, because YouTube is an insane place sometimes, which was, here's why Furiosa's hair ruined the movie. And it was like a 45-minute essay.
Oh, my God.
Oh, Lord.
I was surprised that Ryan Reynolds had a reference to it in Deadpool. So he's holding Sabretooth's head up.
Yeah.
This is your queen, Furiosa. I'm like, wow. That's still in the theaters, I think.
Yeah, he must have just seen Furiosa that day and ad-libbed it. That brings us to the production of the film.
Jesus Christ.
Itself.
People worked on this?
Apparently.
The guy that saw Matthew Broderick pacing back and forth.
Right.
This is the low. This is the low. All right, sorry.
So, yeah, Deck the Halls was written by Don Reimer, Matt Corman, and Chris Ord.
3 people wrote this.
3 people wrote this. Don Reimer.
And they made a pact to not finish any jokes. No punchlines.
John,
like, what if a rocket goes down his chimney? So a rocket goes down a chimney. Oh, he's going to say that could end badly. Awesome. That is what someone would say.
Don Reimer is known for writing episodes of Fish Police.
Classic. I hope it's one of the classic episodes of Fish Police, the ones we all remember.
I hope so. 3 fabulous weeks of Fish Police.
Caroline in the City.
Jesus.
Evening Shade. That wasn't that the Burt Reynolds one?
Yeah, that was a good show. Michael Jeter. Yeah, so I could see why you would hire that dude to write.
But he also
a Christmas movie.
He also wrote Big Mama's House, The Santa Claus 2,
geez.
Agent Cody Banks 2, Destination London.
2.
The Honeymooners one. That was with Cedric the Entertainer.
Mike Epps.
Big Mama's House 2. Big Mama, Like Father, Like Son, and the Rio movies.
Did you mention the Santa Claus too?
I did, yeah. The Santa Claus 2.
I turned my ears off.
Yeah. And of course, Surf's Up, the 2007 Penguin movie that was made in response to Happy Feet, but did not achieve the success of Happy Feet.
Did you know penguins live in warm climates too?
It's like,
shut up.
Our other 2 writers, Matt Corman and Chris Ord.
Our other 2 writers lost a bet.
Yeah. Let's see. Chris Ord is known for writing Deck the Halls and several episodes of The Enemy Within. That's mostly it. This is his only film writing credit. Matt Corman is also known for writing those same shows. They are a writing team. This is their only film credit. Everything else is like TV, drama, and spy shows.
And this will be the only time I stick up for Matthew Broderick. His performance was oatmeal, but at the same time, there wasn't anything on the page.
No.
There were no jokes or tension.
No, there is nothing in this movie for anyone to do. Even Devito, he was doing his best, but there wasn't much there.
No, the funniest bit was when he's warming up Matthew Broderick's body. Yeah. That's just because of naked Danny DeVito's hilarious.
Yeah, exactly. It was directed by John Whitesell. John Whitesell, the director of Calendar Girl, the Jason Priestley vehicle from 1993.
Whoa.
In which he and a couple of his friends stalk Marilyn Monroe. But it's a lighthearted teen comedy. C-Spot Run. He didn't get to make another movie for 8 years after Calendar Girl. C-Spot Run is the movie about a dog who makes life trouble for his owners.
Oh, like Charles Grodin.
Yeah. He also directed Jamie Kennedy's Malibu's Most Wanted.
Which is funnier than it should be. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Cody really liked it, so I watched it with him a lot.
Still one of the funniest disses in the Drake Kendrick beef.
Yes.
Kendrick calling him Malibu's Most Wanted.
That was hilarious. Now, Malibu's Most Wanted, Nick Swardson had a lot to do with that, so, can't be all bad. He also directed Big Mama's House 2, which is how I think those writers got involved here. Big Mama's Like Father, Like Son. And his most recent film was the 2020 Emma Roberts Christmas rom-com Holiday.
Holiday.
Starring Emma Roberts and Luke Bracey. Whoever the fuck is.
I love Christmas to an almost annoying extent, but it's never made me horny. There's so many movies about Christmas making people horny.
There are.
You know what I think it is, though? It's well, you've lived in cold climates. I think that being in the warmer climate and not being trapped inside like people are in the Northeast and stuff, I get the horniness.
Sure.
As on the West Coast.
I was born in Connecticut in June for a reason. 9 months earlier.
Yeah.
There was a blizzard.
Right. It's cold. Yeah, exactly. It's cold. You're drinking some eggnog,
Well, and I think that it's very much this idealized view of the Northeast at Christmas time, where we're like, everybody's in love, loving their families and their partners, while the rest of us in California and Arizona and Texas are all, I don't know, wishing it was snowing.
Yeah, no, I'm enjoying the weather. Is what I'm doing.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going
in
for a
shorts,
walk,
motherfucker. Yeah.
Maybe I never fell in love at Christmas time with anybody, but yeah. Like Thoreau said, every Hallmark movie is like an overstressed business lady from the city who comes and finds a hot dude chopping wood.
Yeah, who's like, I'm gonna save this family mill.
Yeah,
like
get some cider.
Yeah. Exactly. Oh, by the way, I inherited $25 million. I won't tell you until the last 5 minutes of the movie.
Right. But I live like a lumberjack.
Also,
she's like, I can do advertising here too.
And I have a 12-year-old daughter who I'm trying to connect with because I'm a widower.
Her mom loved Christmas and snowmen that came to life.
Yeah. And look like George Clooney, but sound like Michael Keaton.
Michael.
And play white guy blues harmonica like Michael Keaton.
Snowmen.
Our cast, of course, includes Danny DeVito. This is our second Danny DeVito film following Batman Returns. It's been a while.
It's only our second?
I can't think of another. I mean, maybe I'm.
Then we should do an Arnold and Danny movie.
Oh, I mean, between Twins and Junior, there's an obvious choice.
I don't know, Junior's bonkers.
Oh, Junior's crazy. I haven't seen it since like 1994. I don't
think of how mad it would make men now.
Oh God,
these whiny, pissy men. All right.
So Danny DeVito, of course, was Michael Douglas's college roommate. Started doing a lot of stage stuff and then got cast by his friend Michael Douglas in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. And it was all history from there.
And then he was Louis De Palma on Taxi.
Right.
That's fucking hilarious. The first time that they ever revealed that he was a little guy was just TV gold. Just him coming out of that cage, and every one of the cab drivers just like, what?
Every time that they show him in a movie to scale, it is hilarious to me.
It's hilarious that everyone decided to collectively ignore the fact that he is a tiny man.
Kristen Chenoweth is not even 5 feet tall.
Yeah.
She's like 4'11".
Yeah. Yeah, no, him and Kristen Chenoweth standing together look like a normal, make each other look not short. It's incredible. Danny DeVito, of course, became a big producer too. Producer and director.
Yeah, Matilda is a fantastic film.
Yeah, absolutely. Matilda
really is.
He produced LA Confidential as well as being.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah. I think he produced Reality Bites.
Yeah.
He's one of the producers.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Reality Bites.
There are cool things that made Always Sunny in Philadelphia was going to be canceled.
He fucking produced Pulp Fiction.
Yes. That's right.
Get Shorty, Aaron Brockovich.
That's right. Yeah, Get Shorty.
Oh my God, Get Shorty is so good.
So, DeVito's doing well. And of course, he is America's sweetheart, Frank.
All right, you can stop. You're just mashing it now. I don't know how much longer I have on this earth, so I'm going to get real weird with it.
Yeah. Oh my God, Frank on Always Sunny is one of those like TV characters that's like he's like Homer tier. TV
He saved
character.
that show. They were going to be, I don't know if anyone remembers, but he didn't really come on until what, the second or third season, right?
Season 2, episode 1 was his introduction.
Was his debut?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, basically, he kept it alive and kept it going, and he wanted to be in it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he doesn't need to do Always Sunny. He's doing fine.
It's just wild that he's like, yeah, I want to play this character. Like, oh, I want to get into this skin.
Yes.
Eating cat food to fall asleep. Playing night crawlers.
Like, all right, I pooped in the bed. Why,
Yes.
Frank? Poop is funny. Matthew Broderick plays Dr. Steve Finch. Matthew Broderick, of course, is Ferris Bueller. And of course, is film's Inspector Gadget, because there's no one I think of as being perfect for the role of Inspector Gadget like Matthew Broderick.
That dude has 3 performances, if you ask me. I don't know. Ferris Bueller, The Freshman was good, but I don't know if it was because of him.
Yeah.
And Election, and that was not because of him.
Election was great because he was playing a douchebag, and that's, I think, what he honestly needs to play in a well-written film. He's a douchebag in this, but it's a bad movie.
You should see how many Diddy parties he went to.
War Games was big in my childhood.
War Games was...
Oh, yeah, I like War Games. Wait, did he really go to a lot of Diddy parties? I'm not surprised by anybody anymore, but...
Yeah, I've seen a few photos of he and his wife at like the white parties.
Yeah, his wife being
such.
Sarah Jessica Parker of Sex and the City.
Oh, yeah, as we get into the casting of that, we should discuss.
I know, I was going to say,
Sex and the City and that.
Did they own that woman?
Right?
Kristen Davis, like, wasn't it an indentured servitude thing?
Yeah, that poor woman.
It's like an au pair that comes over and then you never hear from her. Just like, they own her. Like, they own her.
Yeah, they couldn't get what was Kim Cattrall escaped, so Kristen Davis had to got punished.
Dude.
Yeah, Kristen Davis as Kelly Finch, Steve Finch's wife. As we said, best known is for playing Charlotte on Sex and the City. Her big break was playing Brooke Armstrong on Melrose Place. Her film roles include 1995's Alien Nation straight to TV.
I love that movie.
Film.
The original movie?
The original movie was great. Then the TV show, and then they did a bunch of TV movies. The last time she's been on this before, she was in the Adventures of Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
Holy shit.
Was she somebody's parent or something?
She was the
she a
mom.
bad guy?
She was the mom in Shark Boy.
She was lava.
She was, she played Shark. Oh my God, she was also in Jack and Jill. We saw her in Jack and Jill too. This is the 3rd movie with this lady we've done on this show.
Just mousy brunette. I don't know.
Wow.
Like, just comes off a printing press.
Yeah. Yeesh. Let's see. Kristen Chenoweth as Tia Hall. Kristen Chenoweth, I don't know best known, but she's very much known as a Broadway actress.
She's Glinda,
Yes.
the Good Witch.
She's Glinda in the
Wicked.
Broadway Wicked. Yes.
Spoiler
original,
alert,
but-
she's in the movie.
Yes.
Both of them are. Her and
She's incredibly talented.
what's her name? The gal who played
I can't.
Elphaba or whatever.
I don't know.
She does the voice of not Scarlet Witch, of Black Widow and of Lake Bell. It's Lake Bell. That's her name.
Okay.
That's what you're thinking of? Yeah. She was in Black Panther too. Like,
Yeah, that's right. She was a CIA
That's right.
agent on the boat.
looking for vibranium.
Yeah. Kristen Chenoweth, her voice is, of course, in one of her big things. She's so of course they had to have her sing at the end. They're like, we've got
there was a moment.
Yeah,
she's an incredible singer.
Yeah,
I remember her from The West Wing.
Yeah, I first encountered her in Pushing Daisies.
That's right.
She's so good in Pushing Daisies.
Yeah. She studied opera in school. She was like serious singer,
she's a stage,
capital S.
Yeah, she's a stage performer through and through.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that's why she didn't have a lot of movie roles. I would be less surprised if it was that she had stage obligations. You know, Wicked ran for ever.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And some theater masters won't let their actors go.
Oh wow. She played Sally in the off-Broadway You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown. Yeah.
Did you ever see the SNL sketch with Martin Short as Larry David?
No.
You're an asshole, Charlie Brown, or something like.
Let's see. As far as screen roles go, her first major film role was in Bewitched, the Will Ferrell, Nicole Kidman one. Yeah.
Did she play our cousin in that?
She played Maria.
Oh.
Yeah. She was also in the Steve Martin Pink Panther. Oh, poor Kristen Chenoweth. RV, the movie where
Robin Williams.
No, the Jeff Daniels. Oh yeah, Robin Williams. It is Robin Williams and Jeff Daniels. She was also in Stranger Than Fiction, Deck of the Halls, and Running with Scissors. She had a big year in 2006. But she's never had like a huge hit as far as like film roles go.
No.
Until now in Wicked.
I mean, I guess it's not like she's starring in Wicked.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. She's literally staring down the lens, winking at the camera the whole time.
Sure. But yeah, she's Kristen Chenoweth. We also have Aaliyah Shawkat as Madison Finch, best known as Maybe Bluth.
Just playing Maybe.
Yeah, just Maybe.
She's strangely typecast as a teenager and has continued to play that same role well into adulthood.
Did you guys watch Search Party?
Just the first couple of episodes.
That show went crazy off the rails. From the first few episodes, it has nothing to do with what it started out as being about by the end.
So she goes missing in the beginning, right?
Not her. She's the one looking for the missing.
She's the sleuth.
For the missing boyfriend or something. Yeah.
They're the
I need to go back and check it out.
It's worth a watch. It's a really interesting show that got really funny. But her film debut was Three Kings. The David
Ice Cube and
George Clooney. And Spike Jonze. That was filmed up in Picacho. I love that movie.
Yeah, David O. Russell, his first film before everyone knew that dude sucks. But yeah, she worked as a kid actor. She had a lot of film and television during the 2000s. Obviously, we mentioned Arrested Development as being like the one that kind of brought her to everyone's attention. She was also in Veronica Mars, Without a Trace. Did a bunch of movies in the 2000s. The Runaways in 2010. She's working. She was
she pops up.
Oh, she was in Blink twice. Huh. Just this year. But
she was in The Old Man with Jeff Bridges and John Lithgow.
That's right.
It's good in that. And I didn't see it, but Severance just came out.
I hear that's good.
Severance is so good.
Severance is out. I think there's 2 seasons.
Season 2 isn't out yet, but season 1.
Oh, that's a Ben Stiller joint. I just found out.
It was really fucking good. The first season of Severance. Highly recommend it.
It looks like so the show started in 22, but it looks like she's showing up in 25.
Yeah, the season 2. Because she was not in the first season. But yeah, she was in Jackass forever. Good for her. Yeah, no, she continues to work. Good for her. Is anyone else worth noting, I guess?
Fred Armisen.
Fred Armisen as
and
Gustav.
the blonde chick who pops up. She was a groundling, I think, but she pops up every now and then. She's in Step Brothers. She's the one. She's Pam. Is it Pam or Pam? The one that's interviewing them.
That's right. She was also in 40-Year-Old Virgin. The Hangover.
Which one of the best lines of the movie that I'm not going to repeat. Are you fucking?
Yeah. She does a lot of stuff with that group of people. Like she has guest spots on Parks and Rec. New Girl. She's one of those groundlings that never broke out, but gets to work regularly because of her friends that did break out.
I think that's all. Isn't Cal Penn in it?
Yeah, well, Gillian Armstrong, as we said. Fred Armisen is Gustav.
Cal Penn.
Yeah, Cal Penn, and this was before he was big, where he just used to. Cal Penn was like, I have 6 lines in 25 movies this year for like the 2000s.
Van Wilder's the first time I saw him.
Yeah.
Jorge Garcia.
Yeah, Jorge Garcia.
Oh, right. Hurley.
As Wallace. Yep. From
who should have played Belushi at some point. He looks like John Belushi.
He was, but he's too big. Belushi was like a short guy. Like Jorge Garcia is like big.
He's like 6'5".
Yeah, no, I get it.
But yeah, he's got a Belushi look to him.
They can make Tom Cruise look like an adult.
That's true. You can't reverse the lifts, I guess. You got to put everybody in lifts around him.
Yeah, they chop off your feet. You're too tall. Dylan Finch was the other kid. He was on almost nothing else. Kid did not make it. The kid Carter, the son?
Yeah.
He was weird.
Yeah.
He was hard to look at, that kid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was getting like weird, this kid's going to grow up to be a politician kind of vibes from him.
Well, and it's not the situation where like some kid actors, they look like little old men. They were trying to play it up like he was this little old man kid, but he didn't look like a kid or a man. Just weird. Sorry. Weird.
Yeah, no,
guy. He's like a frog or something. I don't know.
Just to mention, Gary Chalk played the cross-dressing sheriff. I wasn't even cross-dressing, just the enjoyer of women's underthings.
Yeah, he wore a bra, I guess.
Yeah. Silky.
But Gary...
Which is a prime example in this movie of where they have a visual gag and they decide to address it, thus taking all of the joke away from it. Like, just having the sheriff adjusting his bra, I was like, oh yeah, he's the cross-dresser. And I started to chuckle, and then they talk about the bra.
Yeah.
And then they decide to go over the top with the fishtail thong.
Yeah. No, it was bad, but he's played by Gary Chalk. He was a well-known voice actor.
Chalk. Now get us chalk and oatmeal.
He was the voice of Optimus Primal in Transformers Beast Wars.
Oh, okay.
Ugh.
I guess somebody had to.
But yeah,
he was the NORAD general in Watchmen.
He was also the sheriff in Freddy vs. Jason. He was in just a ton of animated stuff. But there's like a bunch of other people in this, but none of them worth talking about. Apparently the MTV VJ was an actual MTV VJ, because we still had those in 2006. And the host of MTV Cribs.
That show had a host.
Right.
Who is that? The Asian news reporter? I guess she's somebody.
That's her. That's who I'm talking about. Sushin Pak.
Oh, that's who you're talking about?
She was the MTV. She was a VJ.
Oh. Yeah, Andrew recognized her. I did not.
Yeah. Yeah, there's nothing else to talk about with this. It has 6.
My VJs are Martha Quinn.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Kurt Loder, who is now like 97 years old.
Kurt Loder.
This movie has 6% on Rotten Tomatoes, 30% audience score, which is generous, I would say. In looking at reviews, it appears that there's a good chunk of like Gen Zers who watched this a bunch as like 5 to 8-year-olds and have like nostalgic memories of it. Because, you know.
Yeah, I'm sure it was easy to put on for your kids.
Because kids are stupid dum-dums who don't know what's good.
It's true. And yet they have so much buying power.
They really do. But I've got some Letterboxd reviews here. Letterboxd user Betty writes, Danny DeVito and Kristen Chenoweth's children being tall is the height of comedy. 2 stars.
Yeah.
Somebody doesn't know about recessive genes.
That I know, but it was hilarious. The 2 tall blonde, like they're like 3 feet taller than either of them.
Yeah.
Letterboxd user Matt Singer writes, can you imagine how sad this movie would make Ferris Bueller? He'd be devastated.
Seriously, though. Oh, my God.
He'd be devastated by Matthew Broderick, except for the murder. He would totally respect that.
And
he's a sociopath, folks. Don't ever forget it. Ferris Bueller is not the hero.
Yeah, no, Ferris Bueller is not a good guy. Ferris Bueller,
no scruples,
is an agent of
chaos.
Sociopathic chaos. Absolutely. He's Littlefinger.
Yeah, sexist, racist.
Letterboxd user XL writes, they should put their differences aside and become a power couple. 5 stars.
They were so close to that. Their rivalry was not intense. I've seen worse on like reality shows.
Yeah, I've seen worse on episodes of Cat Dog. But
yeah, these guys didn't hate each other.
And Letterboxd user V writes, one of the many Christmas movies. 5 stars.
When you're right, you're right.
Yeah. This movie didn't even inspire like a lot of pithy like posts. It's just there. It's not bad enough to be fun, and it's not good.
I wish I had read more about how bad this movie was when I chose it, because I was like, oh, it's bad. That means it's going to be good.
No, that was a safe bet. It has nothing to do with your...
It doesn't.
I'm glad you chose it.
Yeah, so am I. I feel like this would be an interesting pairing with Christmas with the Cranks, which is another like very low rated Christmas movie from like I think the year after this or something. So anyways, that's about...
Is this what they mean by they're losing the war on Christmas? Like that we're not getting more shitty Christmas movies? Like we stopped making shit like this?
We're not
like relegated it to Hot Frosties and things?
I mean, frankly, I prefer the Hot Frosties because this is just big budget, boring, bland pablum.
Yeah, there's something comforting about the Hallmark structure of a movie.
Yeah,
it's straightforward.
But
this could have been straightforward. 2 people trying to out-decorate each other. But no, it's Danny DeVito versus a satellite.
Versus the satellite.
It really
You can't tell me otherwise. It is that. It's not even Steven.
Yeah, no, he's not.
It's Danny DeVito saying, notice me.
Yeah, I'm just a little fellow.
Yeah, and again,
I'm wildly successful at everything I do, but I'm just not great.
Yeah,
until Google Earth sees me. Dude, you can zoom in and see a homeless guy taking a shit. They can see your house.
Yeah, and also, like, if you want to see your house, why don't you look at the satellite during the day, Danny?
That's great. You can see every house from space. Where's our house? You can't see our house.
Like, that's not every house then, is it? Girls.
So
Was that the elevator pitch for the
99.99%?
movie? Like, what was the elevator pitch for this movie? Like, they Google it. You know, Google, the website, like it's 2006. I assume that you had to explain everything about the internet to an executive.
Yeah, because
They do, yeah.
This was My Earth.
yeah,
They used was Google Earth a thing in 2006?
I think they bought it from whatever
it
company. around this
just
time.
started being a thing. Like that. It was like brand spanking new.
Yeah, Google.
So maybe it was in the zeitgeist, but
Yeah.
again, the elevator pitch should have been these two neighbors trying to out Christmas each other.
Yeah.
Like, how did you sell? Like, he can't see his house from Google Earth. Oh, okay.
It should have.
But he wants to.
It should have been the climax. Is like, you know what? How do I outdo my neighbor whose house is just as lit as mine? I'll make sure that you can see it from space.
It's like Mulaney's bit about Back to the Future. Like, okay, well, does he use the time machine to go and like prevent the Kennedy assassination? What does he do? Well, now I'm embarrassed to say. He goes back to make out with his mom. Yeah, so it's Danny and a satellite. It's not Danny versus Matthew Broderick, and it's not Matthew Broderick versus anything.
No, it's
not man. It's not man versus man or man versus nature or even man versus technology. It's man versus his daughter's ability to Google his address.
Yeah.
They never went all in with the slapstick.
No.
You know, so it wasn't even one of those like, oh, this straight-laced uptight guy keeps. There was a couple of those scenes. That was
I feel like the
about it.
studio had set pieces that they were like, please use these set pieces. They did not make it into the last 3 of our movies. The ice skating and then the sled.
The ice skating was
adventure.
Ridiculous.
That was
and
the
apparently
funniest part of the
Matthew
whole movie,
Broderick
and it wasn't funny at all.
had to train with an actual speed skating.
Had to is a stretch.
Yeah.
Even though he like is out of the race
because Danny
immediately.
DeVito didn't have to, but we did fine.
He's
I
a
bet he
natural
can
born
skate
ice
fast.
skater.
He's like a raccoon on a frozen lake. And slides across.
Scurrying around.
Just sliding, runs to the edge and then slides across the lake.
So yeah, that's it, guys. You ready to jump into the movie?
Let's deck these halls.
This is.
He should have been in a movie about the little drummer boy.
They could have called it the little drummer man.
I'm a man, Dad.
There we go. This is Deck the Halls. A movie that's very hard to Google because there's like 30 of them called Deck the Halls, by the way.
Yeah, that's a public domain title.
We open on Steve Finch. Kind of rhymes with Grinch. I don't know. Maybe I'm stretching.
Yeah.
He's an
Deck the Halls.
He's an optometrist, and he's doing a bit with an old lady, an extremely unfunny bit.
Yes. So many.
Yeah.
It's like the director said, don't try to be funny, Matt. Just read it. Like, well, what if I was more like, no.
You're the straight
and we
man.
want to see how easily annoyed you are.
Yeah, like that. The look you're giving me right now.
Yeah. The low. This is the low.
Yeah. What was that you just mumbled to yourself?
Go with that. And action.
That's the energy we want.
Low.
Desperate apathy. That's what we're looking for.
Regretting every decision that led you here.
And hasn't he done an eye exam for everyone in the town at this point?
Right. It's not that big of a town. I know they have to get replacement glasses every year or two, but you know.
Yeah. But on a daily.
Yeah. Well, I have some questions about this town later on when he purchases the fireworks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said that immediately. Where is that in this town?
Right.
Because it swoops over this like Rankin and Bass, Emmett Otter Christmas kind of like, oh, it's a fake little town. Oh, it's so
the
picturesque.
snow globe town.
Yeah.
You don't get attached to the characters. You don't get attached to the town. The conceit of the movie.
Yeah, no, there's nothing.
Yeah, and then the single Gotham alleyway.
Yeah.
Yes,
Like-
Crime Alley. Like, well, where in this town? They're like, we can't catch these graffiti artists, even though they're constantly in just this one alley.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, by the way, I should mention that the fireworks dealer was played by Zach Santiago, who was also in Josie and the Pussycats, which we watched.
I love that movie.
Yeah. As well as being in Smallville and The Crow, Stairway to Heaven.
The ice skating rink. Did anybody see that little tidbit? The ice skating rink was used in Smallville. So some of the facades that we see in front of the ice skating rink are some of the buildings that are in Smallville. Some of the stores have the same shop name and stuff.
Huh, interesting. So yeah, anyways, Steve's an optometrist. After he gives an exam to a lady, he leaves. He talks to some guys setting up the town tree. He talks to the local Germans who have moved here and exercise.
Yeah. Yeah, there is so much exposition dumping that is so clumsy in this fucking movie. Well, but, that's where we learn that Christmas is his thing.
Yeah, well, and yeah, Christmas is his thing, and it's like they're trying to like be like, look at these wacky townsfolk, but it's not, and they're not.
Nope. They don't play up on any of the comedic points.
It needed to be so much broader than it was.
Yeah, like how does Groundhog Day? How does that town become more? I don't know. There's only a couple people that Frank interacts with in Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
But yet that town is so like, I don't know. All this needed was a couple actually wacky characters. No, that's not all that's needed, but the town, that's all the town needed.
Yeah. Instead of like people sweatily like.
That old lady needed to come back more than once.
Yeah. We need to see her.
Glasses lady.
Uh-huh.
We need to see her a bunch. We need to see more of Fred Armisen and his.
Yeah.
If the old lady kept getting hurt.
Yeah, like hot glasses lady needed to like side with Matthew Broderick. You know, like your neighbor is annoying.
What's his side?
And right. But then by the end of the movie, be like, no, I think Buddy's great, or some sort of thing.
But that's the thing. Everyone in town thinks Buddy's great. Everyone in town loves Buddy, and Matthew Broderick doesn't hate Buddy. That character does not hate. He's just uptight.
Right.
And his Christmas shit is relegated to his family, his advent calendar, their traditions.
Right. Well, he's not trying to do anything in the town other than like.
Or the town.
Yeah. Yeah.
Saying that's a fine tree. He didn't decorate the tree.
The only thing that came up was the caroling. And that was.
This movie lacks any Christmas substance besides maybe the caroling. There's no like giving.
No.
Or anything.
No gift of the magi kind of thing. No learning of lessons.
Well, the lame, like, your son wanted to spend time with you. Like, okay, that's shoehorned in barely.
It's because he's been following me around this whole movie.
Because I don't think the son's really wanted to spend time with dad. He's trying to look at this teenage girls across the street.
Right.
That's the only plot point that we've gotten from the teenage
again, to
son.
talk about a movie which, when we watched it, we were like, this thing's crazy and terrible. And Jingle on the Way, we believed that the kid wanted to hang out with Arnold dad.
Yeah.
I don't believe anyone in this.
No. At home, we meet his family, his wife, Kelly, who, what the fuck was she making? She was feeding him raw quail eggs?
Something. This is before we know she does cookbooks.
Yeah.
But it doesn't take long because they have conversation as if they have never been married before.
Right.
It's like worse than an Everybody Loves Raymond episode. They're turning down the bed and it's just like, well, my dad was in the Air Force a lot, so we didn't get to make traditions. You don't say.
Really?
You write cookbooks. Nah, I don't. I just edit cookbooks. Like these conversations are not.
Right. These
20-year married conversations.
Exactly.
I know your hangups about Christmas, Steve. That's why I have opinions about it. You don't have to tell me about your dad and the Air Force. And I've been successfully editing cookbooks for years. But I'm glad we're talking about it right now. Like, I'm sorry, that's not pillow talk.
Right.
I've been married long enough to be like, did you know about my dad?
Right. And also where they live, there's no, so, okay. Their house, there's a house across the street and that's it. There's nothing else around them. Period.
Buddy's house. Buddy's house
I watched
is a
it behind the
reverse
scenes.
cul-de-sac. It's a loop around his house.
Yes.
I watched the behind the scenes on this movie because I was, I don't know, up late, I guess. And they built both of those houses. It's a movie, you build the houses. But they needed to build them in a neighborhood that looked like a neighborhood that this could have happened in. So they secured a plot of land in a neighborhood, built both houses, and then built a giant structure over both houses so they could shoot the rest of the movie at nighttime. There is a structure over this whole fucking movie. Anytime that it's night, they're in a building.
That's crazy. Why not just do that?
That is wild.
Why not just do that in one of like the hangar-sized studios on a back lot?
Or
Save yourself
on a
so
back
much.
lot.
Because they needed to build a house in a neighborhood that looked like this neighborhood, I guess.
My favorite story
insane.
about that is Home Alone, where they found in like but anyways, a suburb of Chicago, they found an abandoned school and they actually built the house over the empty swimming pool so that they could flood the fucking house. And so cool.
Yes.
And it had to be near a golf course for Joe Pesci.
And they built two of the house, which is even more insane. They built a version, not of this house. They built one they built one on site, and then they built one in the shop, the stage shop, to scale, so that they could practice with the lights while they were constructing the actual house. And then all they had to do was remove the lights and dump them on the house, basically. But
that's how you lean into slapstick.
Like went into this house and the lights.
$51 million.
Yeah. All they did was have the little front of the house burn when the tree goes up. It's like, if you're going to build a whole house, bring it to the ground.
Do something with the house.
Right.
Burn the fucking house to the ground so that Buddy and Steve have to do Christmas together.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's mildly annoyed.
There's so many directions this could go.
Buddy could have saved them. He could have greased himself up all because he's all little, and he could have gone in there and carried the young kid out and carried the wife out over the other shoulder.
Or what about them, Steve and Buddy, in the manger trying to huddle for warmth because their houses burned down? And now no satellite can see them, but they're huddled in the manger making true Christmas memories. No character advances in any way. Yeah. If somebody bought a brand new Jeep and forged my signature,
that's a criminal offense.
Not only that, but I would go nuclear.
An FBI level of federal offense.
I would also be charged for assault and battery.
Exactly. Yeah, that's not our Christmas rivalries getting out of hand.
Point of fact, that was a Plymouth
fraud.
Okay.
I thought it was a Jeep dealership. Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely a Jeep dealership. Plymouth and Jeep are the same company.
That's true.
But yeah,
I didn't want the advertisers to get upset.
That's
this
the only reason I said
brought to you by Plymouth.
Yeah, no, there was the Jeep placement in this movie was possibly my favorite part of the movie. Like, another Jeep. Oh, wow. Yet another Jeep. I drove a Jeep Liberty for a few years. So every time I'd see one, they stand out when you drive them. There are like a dozen Jeep Liberties in this movie.
Well, they had to get the money somehow.
Yeah, for real.
I guess there's not a lot of other product placement, though, I can think of.
No, there wasn't a ton
Seemed
of
like
this.
Coca-Cola would have been all over this.
No, Coke saw the script and was like, no, thank you.
No, thanks. Even though we invented the images of Christmas.
Yeah. So anyways, we meet the family. Kelly, the wife, is a cookbook collector. I don't know. Is that
editor?
Editor.
Yeah. It's a job.
Sure. She seems to be doing it.
But a pretty good one.
Yeah, but she also seems to be doing it freelance. I'm pretty sure that would be like an editor, like at a publishing house. They're like, this is our cookbook editor. Yeah.
That's great. Yeah. How many books were written in Cloverdale?
Her daughter, Madison, who's, I don't know, just maybe. She's 15. She has no other character.
Angsty teen.
Carter, who they tried to give character of he's like got a midlife crisis, but also the kid's weird.
The little old man boy, but they didn't play up on that either.
No, not at all.
Make him neurotic.
I'm 10 years old. What have I done with my life? Half a season of soccer?
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
But then, nope. Then he's just a kid who wants to hang with dad. Or it's like they wanted to make Christmas Vacation with none of the charisma of Chevy Chase.
Even Chevy would have been great in this role, honestly.
Oh, absolutely. But I mean, they have the sled that goes crazy, the tree that catches on fire, the kid who's the voice of reason. It's just everything except Clark Griswold.
What if this was just Christmas Vacation 2, and instead of Danny DeVito, it's cousin Randy moves in next across?
Honestly, I think that cousin Randy should have played Steve.
There needed to be a rivalry.
It should have been a crazy guy and an even crazier guy. And we think that the crazier guy is normal until we find out that he's insane. That would have been fun.
Neither of them were the crazy guy.
Anything for it to not be a milquetoast kind of like just straight down the middle, bland.
But he was a likable guy. He just had a middle-aged dad obsession for a little bit.
Yep.
Which again, that's Clark Griswold, Yeah. He just got obsessed with his dad shit. Like, I'm going to make this the best. Oh, and he's a likable guy. Nobody in town dislikes Buddy.
And him and his wife are that couple that's like a little too free and easy with their, like, letting people see him be affectionate and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Dan Aykroyd and Kathy Moriarty in Neighbors.
Yeah, exactly.
Truly offensive people. Yeah. But he's not truly offensive. All right, I'll stop on that point.
So he wants the family to have a Christmas with lots of traditions. He has the world's lamest advent calendar. There's nothing in there. He just flips it open. Him and his wife go to bed. They have the conversation about that we've never met before, and this is our first date.
Yeah,
we've been married.
Talk about our
years.
kids like we just adopted them.
Yeah.
You didn't see this little weird kid becoming that.
Exactly. Then in the middle of the night, they're woken up by new neighbors moving in across the street. I paused on the screen where they say you can't see our house, and you literally can see their house on the satellite image, by the way. There's only 2 houses in that cul-de-sac. You can see them both.
And the only exposition to the fact is that Danny DeVito's like, their house is bigger. They have the bigger house, so it like shadows my little. It's not even about lights at that point. Steven doesn't put lights on his fucking roof.
No.
He just has a 2-story house.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. No.
So the satellite ignores the building next to it.
None of this makes any sense.
All right, fair enough.
It's
moving on.
The worst. The next morning, while getting his paper, Steve meets his new neighbor. He's a car salesman and apparently an electrical engineer. Was this set up?
So, Buddy steals the paper to look for a job. He's not a car salesman until after he steals the paper.
Yeah.
He's done a bunch of other stuff. He's very good at whatever he does, but this is his first stint as a car salesman.
Gotcha.
Now imagine if they leaned into that and there were more things, because the visual gag of him stealing the paper and the coffee cup it was funny, and it's not overly offensive, not enough to get upset, but just like, oh, he's this kind of guy, a Kramer, but they never let him fully be Kramer.
Mm-mm.
But that was funny. And then he hands her the cup and she's like, ooh, hot. And then that's good. Those kind of neighbors, but they didn't. Next time we see Buddy, he's succeeding.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And we thought they were going to be like it seemed like they were going to like kind of set them up as being a little like white trashy, sleazy, but they weren't.
No. Yeah. Even the moving in at night, like that reminds me of the Burbs or something. Like they didn't even make that weird. It was just like, oh, I guess that's when they got the truck. Like,
so Buddy works.
Steven says, who moves in at night? That's about it.
He sells the car, right? And he sells the car to the car dealer owner.
Yeah.
after betting the 3 veteran car salesmen $1,000 each, he says, I'd like to see the money on my desk by the end of the night. No checks.
Mm-hmm.
I want that $3,000 at some point in this screenplay to do something.
Mm.
You know, I have this $3,000, baby. I'm going to buy a bunch of Christmas lights. Thanks. I don't need your permission. I got this as a bonus on my first day. You're so good at your job, buddy. Or something. Jesus Christ. He won $3,000.
Right. And it's just, and we never really see the car dealership guys. That doesn't really go anywhere. Like, oh yeah, nothing
they
goes
need to be
anywhere.
Antagonistic. What's his name? Steve should have used them to his advantage somehow.
No, all these peripheral characters that could have been something to create color go nowhere and do nothing.
The owner's son.
The thing that bugged me is it was just curiosity. Just like, what did he say to the owner of the car dealership in 5 seconds to make him buy one of his own cars at sticker price?
It was fast. That was real fast.
It was 5 seconds.
It was another example of it could have been funny if they just cut it, but instead they have the guy come in and be like, I bought one of my own cars. Like, yeah, we know. We know. They just set that up.
It would have
get it.
It would have even been funnier if he'd gone out and said, hey, listen, I just bet those guys I could sell you a car. There's $1,000 in it for you if you go in and say you did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even
bringing
without
that guy
it's like the sheriff in the cross-dress. Just like, you should have stopped. The joke was there. Mm-hmm. Then you pushed it and you brought it into reality, and then it's weird. It is weird to get a dealer to buy his own car. But it's funny if you don't fucking stay on it.
Yeah.
Then it becomes inexplicable. Because the dude walks in and he's totally aware of what just happened. Mm-hmm. And he let it happen. So like Al said, I know it's to illustrate how good Buddy is at rizzing people, but like we didn't see the riz.
Yeah.
The camera stayed inside.
Steve and I don't know, whatever the fuck his wife's name is, meet Danny DeVito and Christian Chenoweth.
Honestly, the hotshot car salesman set up more of a rivalry with Buddy in that one scene than Steven does throughout the whole movie.
Absolutely. What if Steven had been one of the car salesmen, and that's like part of where the rivalry comes from?
They could have sold so many more Jeeps that way too.
Yeah. There's so many things they could have done, but no, he's an optometrist. Okay, guys. Later that day, Kelly, her name's Kelly, goes with her kids to the Hall's house. They meet their teenage twin daughters, Ashley and Emily.
Okay, so I have a question if anybody else thought this. So the 15-year-old is mopey and doesn't have a lot of friends and doesn't mix socially. And then her eyes literally widen and beam when she sees these twins. Mm-hmm. I thought maybe, even not even as a joke or gag, that maybe she's gay and was just like, whoa, like having the same reaction as the boy.
That would have
been
interesting.
Then it just turns out that there hadn't been 2 Barbie plastic chicks at school before that.
In order
she's just enthralled
to bring her out of her shell and make her be inappropriately sexy for a 15-year-old.
So that she could be liberated.
All that happened off stage, all of her off screen. We didn't see them rehearsing that or talking about it.
We saw nothing about this. We didn't even see them hang out or be friends, other than like Yeah.
And she immediately says all the guys at school are massive tools, which, straight girls, gay girls, they feel that way.
Sure.
But it's just,
they're not wrong.
It just indicated like, maybe she doesn't fit in for a reason. And nobody paid attention to that. And then she does this Mean Girls, Santa baby type thing. They're even called the Santa babies.
So good. Like they should have made her like a goth girl or something. I don't know.
Something.
There's so much that they
no characterization.
No one has any characterization.
I just thought that's where they were going, and then when it turned out that she just wanted cool friends,
she didn't need to be a goth. She didn't need to be a goth girl. She was just a cloistered sweater wearing.
I'm just brainstorming here, Al.
a cloistered sweater where, yeah, I do know what you mean. That does describe. Yeah. Do you remember those girls when we were growing up that was it like dressed like little old ladies?
Yeah, sure. Picking Jude up from school every day, I see all of like the awkward teens coming out, day after day, and the one very specific teen girl archetype I like is the ones that have very long straight hair and walk very stiffly with their arms at their sides and do like a weird. You guys know what I'm talking about,
like
right?
a penguin walk. Yeah, I think I do.
They like are obviously like very uncomfortable existing outside.
They
of, like,
all
their
are.
room.
Yeah. I don't blame them.
No, me neither. It's awful.
It's awful.
So
imagine if people that didn't like you could follow you around in your pocket.
Oh God.
We just had to get off campus. And it was done.
And it was over. Yeah. So
all right.
Yeah. So anyways, they go to their house, they meet, we're introduced to the expensive vase. There's a
Could
vase.
have been anything, a necklace.
Anything. Nope, it's a vase.
That's just hanging around the house.
Yep.
Because it's one of her daughters that bump into it. It's not even one of the neighbors.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Do we get any clarification as to what the vase is?
No.
Just that it's worth more than the house?
And it doesn't look Chinese. It doesn't look like a Ming vase or anything.
It's just a fancy vase. Her grandmother's vase.
Yeah. That her grandmother plundered from Syria.
That is the level
in the late 1800s.
That is the level of screenwriting we're dealing with here. We need something expensive. Grandmother's vase. Good. Moving on.
Good. My grandma had a vase, and it was totally worth $300,000. She said it's worth more than the house.
Yeah, exactly. Which, yeah, that's a few $100,000.
Yeah,
but
even in 2006.
Yeah, but then he sells it and apparently gets, I don't know, a few thousand.
Enough for like an EDM like rave setup.
Oh, no. When him with his MP3 mixer and it starts smoking and like.
Smoking. I know. I'm like, that's not how that works.
Getting back to this particular scene, this vase is so expensive, but she has it sitting on a stool in the middle of the room.
Yeah.
Right. And it's her daughter that bumps it.
And it's like, okay.
Uh-huh. Not behind glass. Not like.
Why isn't over? Yeah, just up
on
against the wall at least.
Right.
Anything.
Yeah.
But on a stool in the middle of the room. I know you're just moving in, but priorities.
Maybe a safety
keep
deposit
it in the
box.
bubble wrap.
Yeah.
The vase that's more expensive than the house.
Yeah. Yeah. If I had something more expensive than my house, it wouldn't just be in my house.
Yeah. No, it would not.
My house could burn down.
Yeah. So then we get the scene where goes to work for a used car salesman, comes home from work and
it's new cars.
New cars.
Yeah, new cars, brand
as
new cars.
a car salesman. A car salesman.
Brand new Aspens.
Yep. Then
hot off the line.
So there's that scene. That night he comes home and his wife complains that he can do anything, but he gets bored. She's fed up with always moving.
He has undiagnosed adult ADD.
I mean,
yeah, it's
really,
a bitch.
Yeah. But he says he wants to achieve something great, which is okay. Then the twins.
It's fine if he did.
Yeah. The twins.
But he doesn't.
Twins show him My Earth. And then it's the satellite thing and the whole crux of the plot as much as it is one. So he decides.
The thing I nitpicked about this scene was they can't see the house, but one of the twins used My Earth to pick out the 3 hot guys in 5 blocks.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Like, so you can see hot guys from space, but you can't
they
see.
glow, Al.
You can't see your house. What's that?
They glow.
Yeah.
It's just all the alphaness that just exudes from pheromones.
And they all stand outside at night because this is apparently live satellite at all times.
Live, yeah. They go out and wave their arms. That's where the
again, this isn't pictures. This isn't satellite pictures. This is a live video feed 24 hours a day to this satellite.
Pointed at your little weird Massachusetts town.
Yeah. So yeah, he wants to make it visible from Christmas lights. Steve wakes up at 3 a.m. to Buddy putting up lights. Steve's annoyed. Buddy apologizes.
Yep.
And then blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 the end.
He apologizes, but he's salty about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So immediately he's like, he apologizes. He tries to start over. And he's being very, he says he doesn't get sarcasm and but it's really Steve who doesn't get sarcasm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's what
he doesn't know that Buddy is like, okay, you don't like this? Well, I'm going to stick it to you.
But it's all very polite. I had a more tense interaction with this dude I caught trying to trim a tree in my yard. He lives in the neighborhood because I've seen him since, but it's just like, yeah, this is all very polite and kind.
Yeah. They
even when it's salty.
Yeah.
Just seems like neighbors, to be.
Yeah, it seems pretty not worth making a movie about. Buddy finishes putting up the lights. He wakes up his family. They still can't see his house. He decides he's going to have to buy more lights. The next day at the hardware store, the clerk shows him a horse-drawn sleigh they have in the back. Then, back at
how is that going to make the house more visible?
Right.
Yeah.
And
anyway.
I love that Buddy found them. He found the horses. They were just out in the field.
He found them.
How did he get the horses to his house? I like to picture that, like
town. Carrots.
The outskirts.
Carrots.
No, I like picturing Danny DeVito doing that like stunt thing where he has a foot in the stirrup of each horse and he's guiding them in the middle. Just a little
was
Danny
an opportunity
DeVito
for a comedy. Is him getting the damn horses?
Yep.
There's so many.
They either let a joke go on too long or they just hobbled it at its knees.
Yeah, but no,
I wanted to see him taping antlers to a horse. Yeah. Seeing the horse already taped is just cruel.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, like they're already jumping the shark while simultaneously being so boring about it.
Blasé about it, yeah. Oh, you got horses, I see. No, this could end badly.
So meanwhile, at home, the Finch family are getting ready for their Christmas photos where they wear matching sweaters. There's a hubbub outside. They find that Buddy's brought the sleigh and he's hooked it up to horses. They go outside. There's a bunch of townspeople milling about also. So there's that. Just being Christmassy. They drove 40 miles from the town center to where these two houses are all by themselves. Because it's like just woods all around them. There's no other houses.
Yeah. Yeah.
You keep saying that. There are neighbors' houses.
Are there?
There are. Yes.
In the daytime.
Yeah.
At night there aren't.
Yeah, that's true. You don't see them much at night.
That's the thing.
True. Yeah. Even from the aerial shots up on the power line where the kid is, you don't really see.
Yeah. If there are neighbor houses at night, then they are completely blacked out. No porch lights, no Christmas lights, and possibly a big curtain put in front of them.
Okay.
There's a lot of townspeople. Buddy says they should take their picture in the sleigh, but Matthew Broderick's in it and the horses get startled, and then we get a lot of green screen Matthew Broderick going, "Oh!" as the horses run through town.
I apologize. I'm looking at a shot right now. What looks like a neighbor's house could possibly be the Finch's garage.
Well, we found out they built these houses from scratch. So.
Yeah, they just. I mean, why isn't it a
Steven's
neighborhood?
wearing us. I don't know.
Steven's wearing what, Josh?
A Santa costume. Buddy managed to get him in a full Santa outfit.
Yeah, and
before the hijinks ensue.
Yeah, and hijinks. The horses run. He ends up going through the town, and then
even the little kid in the car, Santa, cut. But no, they went with Santa. He is real. We know that's what Dialogue's supposed to be economical, but this movie's just a lot of wow. That's what somebody would say.
Yeah.
We're not in Kansas anymore. What? Never mind.
Never mind. It's hilarious.
Never mind. Everything said should be important.
Never mind.
Swamp Thing. We need to go back and do Swamp Thing again.
I agree.
We really might have to.
I swear, that dude in disguise running that job for months.
Months.
Doing the actual job. All right. I'm sorry. I digress.
That's 5 hours in makeup every morning.
Yes.
Yes. And then to just go through the rigmarole of a construction job. He's like, I still got to get this built. I don't care what nefarious shit we're up to.
If I don't get it built, then boss is going to have my head.
I won't get the same budget next year.
He falls through the lake. He wakes up. Buddy's cuddling him naked for warmth in the back of the minivan on the way to the hospital in a sleeping bag.
I love that you almost said he's buttling him.
Buttling. Later at home, Steve's angry at Buddy. His wife points out that he saved his life and even printed Christmas cards of the family since they didn't get to take their normal photo.
She had those printed fast.
Yeah, he did. He went.
Take the photo the next day.
Right?
Damn it.
This is like
with his taped on. Looked like those Jib Jab videos or whatever. Like his head was.
Yeah, exactly. You still have time to take the photo. This is like December 5th. Like, guys.
And in all fairness, I mean, you're supposed to get that taken a lot. Your card should be out before December.
That's something that drives me crazy about this movie. We get an advent calendar. We get the introduction of the advent calendar. We get the next day where he flips the calendar on it.
And then that's
no more
about
advent calendar.
Yeah.
Right.
Until
even on Home Alone,
that's what families actually do.
Home Alone, at least it takes you through the progression of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
It
like
comes
this is
up
Kevin's
twice.
third day. Sorry.
It comes up twice more on Caroling Day and then on the 24th.
Yeah. But that's not enough.
But it should have been a narrative device. It can indicate the passage of time.
Mm-hmm.
It needs to be the fence post that we walk by every day.
Yeah.
It should have been. Yeah.
Because we start at the beginning of December and then it's like, bleh. It's just a time puddle. You know what I mean? Like December 1st, 2nd, and then, and it's Christmas.
This whole thing seems like it takes place over like 4 days.
Right. It seems that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So his son wants to go Christmas shopping, but apparently Steve is unable to recognize human emotions in faces.
Yeah, cues of any kind.
Yeah. He's also has face blindness and
he has a dad attitude about it, but go ahead.
Instead of taking his son to shop for presents for his family, Steve has already picked out presents that Carter is going to give to the family members. Like,
yeah,
and more importantly,
I already bought a sweater for your mom for you
online. Yeah. Mr. Christmas doesn't want to go Christmas shopping.
Yeah,
they call him Mr. Christmas. I'm sorry to keep comparing him to Clark Griswold, but like that's all Clark's deal. Christmas shopping, wrapping, lights, like that's Mr. Christmas.
Yeah, there are a lot of elements of Christmas that you need to be a participant in to be the Christmas person. It's not just I have a tree and a family and we do dinner and sweaters and advent calendars.
Yeah.
And even in 2006,
we do donations, we do gift wrapping at the mall. Like we take on way too many tasks in the season and our family's exhausted and the family's not enjoying Christmas by the time it's fucking Christmas.
Right.
That's what a real Christmas family does.
Yeah, dad slowly goes crazy because nobody's a part of the program. That's relatable. That's not crazy. Yeah. Even mild-mannered dads get pushed to the point where they're like, I'm shutting this whole fucking thing down. I'm shutting it all down.
As somebody who hasn't really lived that life, seeing this, it felt so weird to be like, none of this is Christmas. Like, ugh.
Nope. He has like a specific day to put a wreath up.
About my Christmas life, you know? I'm like, oh yeah, it's the holidays. I should probably like, I don't know, eat ham or something. Is that Christmassy? Like, fuck.
Ham. Yeah. He's not Mr. Christmas. He has a day to hang a wreath.
You, sir, are not Mr. Wreath. Christmas.
Go was a more Christmas themed.
I knew Mr. Christmas. Mr. Christmas was a friend of mine.
You know, now that I like saying that in passing, Go opens and closes with, you know what I like about Christmas? The gifts. It's a surprise. This movie opens with, do I look hot in these glasses?
With optometry.
Yep.
And then it ends with like
the oldest lady in town. He just finally sunk his hooks into like, I'm gonna get glasses on this last bitch if it's the oldest lady in town is just coming in.
Right. So his buddy meanwhile hooks up an extension cable to steal electricity from Steve.
See, miss this? How do you not look at your plugs? Like, how do you discover the cable on the ground when like you just walk to your backyard and you go like, oh hey, funk. Oh, unplug that.
Well, and Steve's line of dialogue about him stealing the juice occurs before we see him coming and plugging the extension cord.
It does.
And so I was laughing at that because I was like, that's not how electricity works. You know, like there's not a certain amount allotted to you and allotted to this guy. But then they show him literally stealing it. So it was weird. It's like, why do you already suspect that? Right. And then the story's going to go that way.
No. Obviously, this movie got edited to shit from what it was, but they didn't have anything to work with to begin with. So
fair enough. I'll stop.
So
tree cutting day.
Yeah, it's tree cutting day. He has special trees in his own private tree yard.
So I never heard of that before, but it's kind of neat. Is it like, you know, like renting a liquor box at the opera or something? You know, like I wonder if you paid a certain amount of money, you got your own little plot. But of course, in this movie, they don't explain that. And his seems to be the only little private plot.
Yeah. And also,
instead of rows of them, you know, because there was a sign on it. So again, it reminds me of like donating to a theater and getting a chair with your name on it, or getting, I donated, so there's a brick. So I would have thought there would be others for other families.
Yeah, that would make sense.
And maybe there were, but I didn't see it necessarily. They showed the larger lot behind. Anyways, something cool that I was like, oh, that's cool. Oh, they're not going to say anything.
Yeah. And then so Buddy is there and he accidentally spills gasoline on the base of the trees. And then when he's
kerosene? It was awfully pink.
It was very pink.
Yeah. But it was gas for the chainsaw.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was a kind of good. But it reminded me of that explosive stuff from Goodfellas that they're dipping the toilet paper in.
Yeah. So they
everything reminds me of Goodfellas in one way or another.
All my life, I wanted to be reminded of Goodfellas.
I thought of Ghostbusters when I saw the pink liquid.
Yeah.
Pink liquid.
Mm.
So as far back as I can remember, I always wanted to have $30.
But so here, Steve probably saved Carter's life because he wouldn't let Carter chop tree down as promised.
Yeah.
Carter could have died.
He could have.
And that would have been
if he had not been ignored.
Then he comes back as the ghost of Christmas present.
The lesson here is that parental negligence is a good thing.
Yes.
Yeah. Not connecting with your son will save his life.
So the trees burn, and then they have to have a tiny tree for Christmas, which is hilarious because he does an optometry bit with it. And also tiny trees are funny.
Well, and again, the joke was like, Carter, get the tree. But then what they should have done is Carter, get the tree, which is funny. One kid, the tree, and then cut to this little decorated, sad fucking tree.
Mm-hmm. No, but
instead he's just like, there's a verbal gag, and then he's like, here's the tree.
And he like,
I'm wearing a bra. Let's talk about the bra.
An extended optometry bit, which is like, okay. If like he was
is it better here? Is it better here?
Like if they're gonna do optometry bits, make him really into being an optometrist. Make that a thing to the point where you're like, why does this guy like being an optometrist so much?
If you're gonna tread the murky waters of optometry humor.
Like if you're gonna have something that is that stupidly specific,
9/11 jokes,
go with it.
I know. Yeah, he should always be, and he should have glasses. No, maybe not. I guess I don't want to trust it. Yeah, should
honestly,
he? I guess I want. It's like a barber who has nicely cut hair.
Also,
you can't trust that.
I'd like to point out that the tree, the big tree that they were going to cut down, what he says it's been growing for 15 years.
Yes.
But there are only 5 trees in the family plot.
Yeah, and he said there's one for every
year.
Yeah, so it doesn't make it. Yeah,
I keep looking at this the structural parts of this movie, not tree related, but optometry related. Buddy should have needed glasses.
Oh,
someone in Buddy's family should have needed glasses.
So many opportunities.
It's like they
that would have been funny if he comes in for an eye exam and he convinces Steve to get glasses.
Oh my god!
Like his salesman kind of thing. Like he sells him glasses.
Yeah, and then suddenly Steve's behind the thing, and Buddy's like one or two.
See, so funny. We could have punched this up so well.
Yes, Jesus Christ, that's so much better than what I was like. Oh yeah, well, and then he's going to spend the $3,000 on his daughter's glasses.
And the burned down houses and them in the manger. Like, yeah, we could have made this much better.
Yeah.
So
let's go back to 2006.
We need a time machine.
I'm sure I was a nightmare.
Meanwhile, the Halls' house is completely lit up. The townspeople keep coming by. The daughters are handing out candy canes dressed up.
Yeah, it's like a Winter Haven thing for us here.
Yeah. Buddy can't enjoy it because he's inside soldering things.
Obsessed.
Yeah. The next day in town, Steve sees Buddy buying more Christmas decorations, tries to warn him off, telling him he's the Christmas guy around these parts.
I'm the Christmas now.
The townspeople are already looking to Buddy for Christmas guidance because there's so many Christmas questions that you have to go to your local Christmas guy for.
Your Christmas guy, even though he has delegated all of the responsibilities away from himself.
But like, what?
I'd be like, you know what, dude? Mr. Mayor, you're the Christmas guy.
What Christmas questions does the average person have that they need to go to a Christmas guy for?
Apparently just to be like, what do you think of this tree? Yeah, good.
Yeah.
That's all.
You're
muted, Al.
Yeah. The the one question that Hurley asks is, what do you think about mistletoe? Okay.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the liberal use of mistletoe?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyways, at home, Steve's wife says that Buddy's wife gave her the idea to write her own cookbook. Steve gets mad at that because he told her to do it earlier.
No, he gets irked. Steven's never mad.
No.
Sorry, but he's not.
He's not.
Almost to like savant levels, as if he can't go higher than annoyance. Even the car stuff, like, I don't know. Mm-hmm. Seeing a man reaching his breaking point can be quite funny.
Yep.
Even nope,
not going to do it. So then he's trying to get his caroling group together, but they all get distracted by Buddy's house, which is getting lighter and lighter.
And
everyone's drawn by a recorded
Christmas
song.
Music. Yeah.
Yeah.
What is this music selection? They spent $50 million on this movie, and there's not a single fucking recognizable Christmas tune in it. What the fuck happened here?
Snippets of him at the end with his little, like, I don't know. And I love that everyone is drawn to, it's like it's just like the satellites. You can absorb sound really from anywhere. I mean, they're like, I got to walk across the street to hear this cut.
Yeah. I've got to get 20 feet closer. Otherwise, I'm not going to really enjoy.
I will say.
It's not a performance. It's not like Snoop walked out like an old school, like it's just a recording.
I love that the, what would you call it? The sleigh? Mm-hmm. The sleigh is the booth for the DJ and light controls.
Yeah.
I do like that as a set design thing, and the fact that you get Danny Devito sitting in the booth multiple times in the movie.
Yeah, visually was great, and the flywheels that catch on fire.
No. No. Every time he pulled the lever, light, the big like ka-chunk lever, which apparently changed the songs. There was a record scratch every time.
It's like at NORAD, there's a big lever that changes the music, and then the one that launches all the.
You know what this movie feels like?
You pulled the wrong one.
This feels like this movie was written, directed, edited, everything but acted and set designed by executives.
Oh yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Like we don't need a writer. We'll put our names on the list. Like,
yeah. And it wasn't even a situation of like, let's try to nerf the comedy to make it less offensive. There was just no, like I said, they had jokes. They had jokes. And, I don't know.
Yeah.
It was by committee.
This entire.
Danny has a holiday movie out right now in the theater.
Oh yeah, he's Hot Frosty, right? He's the sexy Frosty.
No, I don't know the name. He's Hot Frosty. He's a little snowball. Half of Frosty, either after he melted or was being built. Because Frosty was engineered, folks.
Yeah.
He's an android.
So was Danny DeVito. That's not natural to look like that.
There's even a reporter there. Steve tries to leave, but his car is almost boxed into his driveway. He tries to get out with the help of a local dude.
Well, like
this guy is.
Well, they're in Massachusetts. They do mention that later, but yeah, the one Boston-y type character, but he should have had more of a New Englander accent.
Right. And if maybe this dude shows up a few times, instead he's here this one time and then is gone.
Right. He should have been like
he came from out of town.
Yeah.
Yeah. It seemed like people began to come from out of town to see Buddy's lights.
Yeah.
There were sailors.
There were sailors that the 15-year-old daughters were going off with.
Well, yes, that's disgusting. Yeah. But they were on shore leave. So they're relatively close to the coast. I don't know.
Sure. Sailors on shore leave showed up at this one house in this cul-de-sac.
Yeah, I know. I've been out to sea with 1,000 dudes for 9 months. I want to go see Christmas lights.
They're like, dude, this house has crazy Christmas lights. Can you see it from space? Well, no.
Where can we find 15-year-old chicks?
In a cul-de-sac.
Just use the satellite to find the hot chicks in your neighborhood.
They're outside waving their arms because it's a live feed.
It's like a panda cam or something.
Yeah, it's like the one that's on an eagle's nest.
Right, yeah, it's like in a zoo. Like, I can see this panda anytime. And it's actually Danny DeVito.
So, anyways, he tries to get out, but then his car door gets ripped off by a trailer hitch.
Both doors.
Both doors, yes.
And again, he's mildly annoyed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, dude, even if drunk guy says you can get out, you clearly can't get out. There was not enough space. Not even a mini could squeeze through there.
Yeah.
And it's weird that the optometrist mentions not being able to see. He's like, I can't see that side. Well, look at the two hitches before you back out.
Right.
You optometrist.
Yeah. So he goes to the police station to file a complaint about the light pollution. But this is where we get the cop wearing the women's underwear.
He's just adjusting a bra and scratching. That would have been funny enough.
Right. But
then they have to talk about it. And he's like, I don't know that.
And then like the fishtail thing. But also like Buddy's so freaked out by seeing the women's underwear that he just leaves and doesn't even file his complaint.
Doesn't file his complaint.
The cop was going to do it.
Again, mildly annoyed.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and then he was weirded out. But again, if they hadn't talked about the cross-dressing, the whale tail would have been funny.
Yeah.
Just having him bend down like, Dan Aykroyd's plumber character, you don't, if you're going to have a visual gag, you don't fucking talk about it.
Well, and it would have been really easy to pay it off in some way where he is like, he gets some women's clothing at the end and he's excited about it or something.
Anything, but like this, yeah.
To like hang a hat on it.
Even
like, it doesn't have to be the characters all going, oh, he's wearing a bra.
If only any of these little like townspeople like quirks had been not even a 3-beat, just give me 2 beats, anything.
Or, I mean, literally Danny DeVito giving him a bra as a gift. Like, you don't know anybody in this community. Like, so I know all these people so well. Like,
they set up that he's a cross-dresser, but then they also set up that this town is so tiny and everybody knows everybody. So you think it would just be a foregone fact like Klinger on MASH. Like, that's what he looks like.
Yeah.
So just a visual gag. But instead they're talking about it, and then it becomes more like, well, you start asking yourself, is the sheriff gay? What is he like? Does he go out with others?
Yeah, he has a wife. So, like, that's just what they're into.
I thought it was funny that his nameplate said Sheriff Dave.
Okay.
That's funny.
Instead of Sheriff whatever his last name is.
Exactly. So wouldn't it just be known the Sheriff Dave wears a bra, especially when he's so overt about it? He bends over and you could see his thong. So I would then take it as everyone in town would just know that.
Yeah, no.
How is that a secret?
Yeah, it's definitely an open secret if people are talking
every time he drops
the
change.
Optometrist,
The town optometrist.
Well, Steven's acting like, oh my God, it is true. And I'm freaked out. So they addressed it as a paraphilia instead of just dude likes to wear a bra under his shirt.
There's a reason why
not as
told
weird
Steven,
as it sounds.
Yeah, because
they knew he'd be
sucks.
weird about it.
Steve sucks.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Oatmeal.
Buddy moved into town. They're like, hey, the sheriff likes to wear bras if you're looking for something to get him for Christmas.
Oh, because Buddy's down to clown no matter what.
Yeah.
He's ready to party.
Buddy's like, yeah, cool.
But only a little.
Yeah, I've got some bras I can give him.
Oh, I got some bras.
I wanted to jump back just a little bit when Buddy's getting interviewed. Just before Steve leaves and gets his car doors ripped off. Buddy's getting interviewed by the news and is very pointedly looking at Steve when he says all the things about how he wants to make his lights visible from space.
Okay.
So he's like, just as part of his character, he's needling his neighbor.
I mean, sure.
Very mildly.
Very mildly, but like looking straight at him. It's just like, yeah, I want to be obnoxious.
Sure.
Not enough. I'm just no.
It shouldn't have been subtle.
That's what you had to search for a glance. Yeah.
It should have been
way
subtle.
more.
This movie should have been cartoonish.
Anyway, moving on.
Yeah. So the next night, Steve does his whole like dress like Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible, going to the fuse box with a snowball.
Also, why is he wearing black in the snow?
He should have been in all white. Yes.
It's like the sunglasses. Why are you wearing shooting glasses at night?
Yeah.
He should have just taken a gun and like shot the power or something. That would have been
and creeping around in an incredibly illuminated house, one that you might see from space.
And again,
one that has 2 teenage girls that he was just harassing, right? Or no, that's after this. Oh my God, there's so much more of this movie left.
No, that's what I'm saying. We're like halfway through the movie. We got it.
I was wondering why he had a Bactrian camel rather than a dromedary, which would have been native to the Middle East in, Bethlehem. But a dromedary probably would have died in Massachusetts in the winter.
Oh, that's fair.
He taped shit to a horse.
And those are camel facts, Al?
That's a camel fact.
That's a camel fact.
What is the camelback sound? Yeah, a spittoon.
Yeah, that's...
Their humps are filled with... Yep. Their humps are filled with eggnog.
I still don't think it's good to drink, though.
You got to tap it like a keg.
What are you getting from a camel that's safe to drink?
So they, anyways, his kid ends up in the pole, and then he gets caught. Also, like this, he did like a lot of like sneaking. It would have been easier to just walk across. Again, these are the only 2 houses at night. Anyways, the only 2 houses.
Yeah, like was there a camera or something that he was trying to avoid being seen by? Like,
and he's never that concerned with his kid's safety.
No, he's a terrible father. Terrible father.
Yeah.
This is one of the scenes in this movie. There's a couple of times that it happens, but this is the one that really stood out to me, that this movie lacks blocking.
Oh yeah.
You have this giant set and you've got like all kinds of stuff, and they like have him hiding from Danny DeVito behind the like moving animatronic lawn ornament decoration thing, whatever animal that was. Like a penguin
Frosty.
or something. But
it was Frosty.
But having blocking and having like shots from the doorway or shots from like the street.
Yeah, you're
side.
right. That's a good point. Like there wasn't a buddy POV but that it was briefly amusing to see Broderick go up and down with it too. But you're right. If they had just cut to Buddy's POV and you saw everything but Steven's head.
Yeah. No, this movie was...
That would have been a funny gag.
Terribly directed, terribly blocked, it was badly made.
All right, then I'll stop pointing things out. I know the answer.
So then his wife catches him. Buddy discovers the sabotage. Oh yeah. No, but the backup generator comes on. But also, all of the lights shouldn't have gone out because he was stealing electricity. So some of the lights should have stayed on.
It goes through the fuse box, though. So.
Truth.
Did he?
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, what the technical?
I'm not looking for it. Yeah, let's keep moving. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So his son's up in the pole. They get caught. Buddy discovers the sabotage. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Calling all y'all.
I'll leave. He discovers the sabotage. And so he decides to retaliate. He steals the town Christmas tree, puts it in Steve's house, and gets him a car, which he makes Steve think he paid
thinks
for.
is the gift.
Yeah.
Oh, my neighbor bought me a car.
A $30,000 car.
I have 2 very nice neighbors. I would be mad sus if I came home and they bought me a car.
I'd be like, what's happening, guys?
Yeah, we need to go back to the dealership. I need to know about the APR and all this shit.
Yeah, I have a lot of questions. I'm not going to just take the keys and get in.
Is this insured?
Yes. Yeah. Whose name's on the title? Like,
he just drives away.
So, he, Steve discovers this. He goes to the dealership. They get in a fight argument. They make a bet. If Steve can beat him at the Winterfest speed skating race.
The whole thing about settling this like a man. He starts off with lawyer. He's like, settle it like a man. And then he goes to the other extremes. Like, okay, you want to go? You want to go? It's like, no. What are you doing? Let's ice skate like men.
Like men.
Nothing manlier than ice skating.
Yep. If you have to put on a skin tight bodysuit, your hobby's weird.
Seriously, as somebody who bikes a lot, it's weird.
Or
it is weird. It's like, what wind resistance are you dealing with? I understand. Yeah. Don't wear Jenko jeans.
So,
oh my god, yeah, never mind. Go ahead.
So, they then
cut to Winterfest.
Yeah, we cut to Winterfest.
Which Steven has nothing to do with. Even his daughter's participating in this show. Mr. Christmas is doing nothing. He doesn't even wear a Santa hat.
He's on the board, but he doesn't act the part.
He's on the board, but he doesn't know.
On the board.
He
doesn't walk the walk.
He's on the board, but he doesn't know who the Santa babies are.
The entire town calls him Mr. Christmas. He's on the board.
Call me Mr.
Sure, he's on the
Christmas.
HOA too. I'm sure he's on the HOA, but he doesn't go to them.
So, no, at one point he like threatens to call the HOA, but then just doesn't. Okay.
Well, yeah, like you said, he was going to, a light pollution complaint he was going to file, but
then just doesn't.
Side of women's underwear just freaked him out, even though they didn't explore that earlier. Okay.
Yeah. So,
so is that Winterfest?
Yeah. And then, so they decide like maybe they try to compete in a couple non-skating things and then decide, or then their wives have give them a talking to, and they decide that they can have fun. Now, I would point out how awful their bonding over catcalling performers is, even without it being their daughters.
Yeah.
And it's already pretty gross, and that's how they bond.
Yeah.
But also, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, but then they discover it's their...
even their little rivalry at the different games. This just seems like two buddies at a fair. Of course, there would be that playful competition on the pitch game, but then they're on like sleds. I don't know. It was just very playful and not all that rivalrous.
Sure, like if you hate each other, avoid each other.
Yeah.
Well, there's that dude, but even just
if that dude just tried to get me like arrested for like fake buying a car, we're not going to be having a playful time with the Christmas games at Winterfest.
That was two buddies at the fair. Yeah, that's all that was. And I'm sorry, if you're going to have a snowball themed throwing booth, you should have a back so that you don't hit 90-year-old ladies.
Yeah, you should.
Face.
That's again, the committee probably should have thought of that, but Matthew Broderick's not showing up for the meetings.
Right, and he's not using his eyesight very well throughout this movie.
Maybe he needs glasses.
Bump.
That should have been like the end. Like, I can't see it. I can't see it very well, buddy.
No, our scene of him convincing Steven to get glasses. They could even be wildly off as what his prescription would even be. Like, that would have been funny.
Yeah.
But we wrote that this morning.
On a podcast. So yeah, they catcall the daughters, then they go and start wiping their eyes, washing their eyes out with holy water.
Which is what we all want to do.
Yeah. Then they have the race, which is definitely a set piece race of sorts.
Yeah, I like that he had a Red Wings jersey, but he's there in Massachusetts. Where's his Bruins jersey? Get your ass kicked.
He's not from around these parts.
No, that's true. Oh, and he sells cars. All right.
So Buddy wins the race.
Did Detroit Wheels? Yeah.
Yeah. Buddy wins the race. Steve gets mad. Says
Because of the Germans.
yes.
Like join the club.
Or Austrians.
Steve.
I don't know.
Whatever. Yeah. Swedes, Finns.
It doesn't matter. Gustav and
I wish that costume had been funnier.
Yeah.
Because this movie needed something for me to fucking laugh at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Also, if he was Mr. Christmas, he could have been dressed Santa-ish and then opened up the Santa suit, the tearaway. Like boom, and he's got this. But no, his son helps him into it. He kept it from college. It's boring. So boring.
Yeah. We need something to make this a laugh.
Yeah. This was a tedious thing to sit through. So Buddy gets his feelings hurt because Steve says he still can't see his house from space. Buddy compensates by buying a giant programmable LED light thing. He pays for it by pawning grandma's face.
So is that something you could pawn if it's a priceless artifact?
You take it down to the pawn shop and they're like, yeah, sure, we'll give you $75,000 right now.
The reason we use the term priceless is that it's like its value is higher than the market can bear.
Yeah.
So, but nothing is truly priceless because anyone can
Something
buy
like that needs to be sold at auction.
Right. Yeah. Yes, exactly. It belongs in a museum. You don't take it to your local pawn shop.
No.
And try and get
that
like you're selling copper wire.
He could have called, the British
Broker.
Museum and said like, hey, we have this Assyrian pot that my wife has been hanging on to. I'd love to sell it.
Grandma got.
Yeah. Is your grandma Indiana Jones? Yeah, no.
A bag of sand.
But also there's a pawn shop in this idyllic Massachusetts town.
It's right where Crime Alley is.
Right.
That has that much cash on hand.
Exactly.
Yeah, that much. For stadium light setup.
She gets mad and her and the girls leave to stay in a motel. So Steve decides to get back at Buddy again. And he goes to Crime Alley to buy some fireworks.
Again, that's a funny gig that's what the shitty character is dealing in. But
sure.
Where was this in this town?
Where was this?
It was so graffito tagged.
And also
like sheriff. Hey, sheriff.
It was behind the 4 restaurants.
But also, this dude just stands back there next to his car waiting for people to come up and buy fireworks from him in this small Massachusetts town.
He's the Latin guy behind the optometrist store. You can get oxys or fireworks, whatever you need.
Living this way?
Yes. And he's not known by the cross-dressing sheriff.
He starts shooting off fireworks, and the big one goes into his own house down the chimney and lights the Christmas tree on fire. It's the town Christmas tree. So
and of all
the Marilyn Monroe doll.
Yeah, that was funny actually. But yeah, and of all the corny, funny, goofy things he could have said when he looked down his chimney, they went with, "This is going to end badly."
Yeah.
That's something someone would say.
Yeah.
Movies aren't supposed to exactly these kinds of movies anyway.
Yeah. Him being like understating a big thing, that can be a funny thing to do.
Sure.
But not in this movie in this way.
No. Even the word oops, perfectly timed, is funny.
Mm-hmm.
Not this is going to end badly. Yeah. Yes. That's true, Stephen.
Yeah.
That's why they're doing it in the movie.
Yeah. So yeah,
Have you been watering that tree?
yeah, it went up pretty fast.
Pretty fast. Considering it seemed to be buried, like it seemed to be planted in the town square.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm with Al. It was a pretty fresh tree. It'd be hard to get that pine to ignite.
But
these sons of bitches
without gunpowder.
Yeah,
without gunpowder.
But also, they're pretty nonchalant about the fire in their living room.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He's not broken in any point in this movie.
So,
well, I'll just go down to the dealership and sort this out.
So
they're going to arrest me by noon, even though that's not how this works. All right.
They will arrest. No, you didn't.
Because he forged the documents.
Yeah.
So the dealership, as far as that's concerned, you've entered into a contract. They know they're not going to get a bunch of money by noon.
Yeah.
But if you can't pay, they're going to take it back and sue you.
What kind of financing did you get? I have to pay by noon or I'm arrested.
I have to pay by noon. The APR is really low, but if I don't come up with 30 grand by noon, I'm fucked.
Then I go to jail. Why did I sign this
I go to
contract?
jail. I go to debtor's prison.
Yeah, they don't take back the car. I go to jail.
Well, and he didn't sign the contract.
Yeah. It was forged.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. As far as the dealership's concerned, that was a legit transaction. And if you've bought a car, they don't come the next day by noon. They just stick you for the rest of your life with a fucking car. All right.
So that's why those guys drive around repossessing cars. It's
right. They don't let you keep it and then be like, oh, if we get you, you're going to jail. It's Grand Theft Auto then.
So Steve's family leaves. They're going to go stay with Buddy's family at the motel. That's when Steve discovers that Buddy's been stealing his power.
Even though he suspected it before it happened.
Yeah. After seeing him take down the lights, him and Steve decide to, I don't know, make up or something, and they put lights up all over town. And
the last one that I noticed, the last visual joke that they ruined by talking about it was decorating with the mini bar bottles. That's a funny visual. Like they're stuck in a motel. They don't have much. But then the daughter is like, those are bottles from the mini bar. It's like, why would you have somebody say that? Like, it's just funny enough that they're hanging. We know they're in a motel, mini bar. I got the joke immediately. And then it was just like, Christmas spirit. Those are.
They were so proud of that joke too.
Oh yeah.
I feel like everybody's lines are just like if an extra tried, like a day player tried to talk. They had to cut. Like, why are you just adding shit?
Rhubarb,
Deadpool, Wolverine. No more fucking lines for you. No more lines.
Yes, exactly. That kind of thing.
Oh, this is
going to end badly.
These are improv players on stage without props.
Yeah. Yes.
They have to say what they're doing.
They cost $50 million because they CGI'd the bottles in after they said the line.
Can't see.
Yeah, we had to visualize the bra.
So they lure.
Yeah, the last joke they ruined.
Yeah,
the bottles.
They lure. Yeah, because they lure the wife and kids home, and they all sit down to a nice meal made by the guys out of the cookbook. They didn't have time for a turkey, but they had time to cook like 15 dishes from this cookbook.
Mr. Christmas didn't have a turkey. He wasn't prepared for Christmas Day because, mind you, his house did not burn down. A part of the family room burned out.
Yeah, just
so
a part.
Why don't they have the fixings in either house?
Dude, turkey's for Thanksgiving. Ham is for Christmas.
Jude's takeaway was like, wait.
Ham is for Easter.
And Christmas.
Yeah.
Christmas ham.
You're right. Ham is only holiday related. I think I brought that up recently. Yeah. He was like, come on over for some ham.
Jude's big takeaway from this was turkey gets 2 holidays. That's too much.
It's too much for a flightless bird.
Yeah. So they
it used to be owl. No, I don't.
The whole, yeah.
Owl meat.
So then the whole town comes to Buddy's house to help put his lights back up in time for a story about them on MTV News. MTV News comes to do a live broadcast.
Yeah, we regret to inform you that Prince has passed away, but here's this random dude in Massachusetts in his ass.
Buddy bought the vase back.
Yes, he bought the vase back.
He did.
They'll be paying off their credit cards for the rest of their lives.
Mm-hmm.
I'll point out that pawnbrokers don't take credit cards.
Yeah, he
Cash
had enough
only.
He had enough on his credit card.
He had enough on a credit card to buy the priceless vase back, but not buy the stadium lights that he wanted.
Or he applied for, while they're cooking, he applied for a bunch of credit cards.
And got them
approved.
all. And
Jay comes like his credit didn't change in between selling the boss and not.
So they put the lights back up for MTV, and then they turn it on, but they still can't see them from space. So they sing carols.
It shorts out. Everything goes dark.
Yeah. And use their cell phones to light up the neighborhood and have a heartwarming moment.
He can't see it from space. He's just told that he can now.
Yes. They sing.
Be funny if he rushed inside to look at the laptop. That's hilarious because all the activities outside.
Yeah. They sing. Steve and Buddy decide they're just going to be friends.
They start over.
Yeah.
They re-meet each other.
Yeah.
We went from slightly passive-aggressive frenemies to friends. Let's start over.
And then Carter, the kid, notices the plug isn't plugged in right, pushes it in, and suddenly it beams light directly into space because light goes
and once
direction only.
Light only goes up.
That's right.
And that's right. Up, just like recorded music can only be heard if you cross the street. And again, that was a Christmas Vacation moment where, like Beverly D'Angelo finally figures out why the lights aren't working, and then it's all when the greater Chicago area starts to dim.
Yeah, but that gag was done so much better than this one.
Oh, yeah, the entire movie was. I am not arguing.
On about $40 million less, I would.
Yes, a lot less. The Mavis Staples song and everything.
Yeah. So Cal Penn tells them, yes, we can see it from space. The crowd celebrates and credits roll. Woo!
I wish there was a scene with an NSA agent and not a Google Earth agent. Like we've been able to see you the whole time.
That would have been really funny. That would have worked.
Yeah. We've seen you before you put the lights on. We also know where the hot guys in your neighborhood are.
Just like Pornhub, they know where the hot guys in your neighborhood are. Sorry, Al, I interrupted you.
No worries. You got to continue a point. This movie ended appreciatively abruptly.
Yeah, they didn't drag it out at least.
No, I was glad.
They finally got to the end and they stopped dragging it out.
Oh, I was going to mention that. I think Andrew pointed out, but at one point after Buddy does something, there's a fade out to black, like it's a wipe.
Yeah.
The only cut like that in the movie.
Fuck, I can't remember which one it was, but I remember it happening and being like, why is this happening right now? What?
Oh, I think it was after he looks at the vase. He's on the phone with the people and he's like, oh,
that's right.
And there's all like it's a sitcom.
Then it comes on like, bow, bow, down, bow.
When the lights turned on, the guys at My Earth in the control room, they had like 3 reactions. And the third one, there was a faint Wilhelm scream.
Huh.
That's funny. I love that they think it's a control room.
There's a control room with dozens of people sitting around monitoring it at every moment.
Right.
The monitor room. Okay.
No, just another satellite stuck to a regular rocket. Just put it up in space.
So unanswered questions.
No,
Why?
I mean, why?
Yes. Why would you do this to us?
Brian.
You're welcome.
Hey, Brian didn't know.
No. Why?
Yeah, I'm not blaming Brian. I am blaming. I'm blaming 20th Century Fox and Regency Enterprises.
It's a Wonderful Life is one of my favorite movies of all time, but I don't have a lot to say about it. This I had things to say about it. All right. No questions.
Yeah, me neither. I don't even want to talk about thumbs.
I have a question. What happened to the Jeep?
Yeah, did he get it back? It just disappeared from the plot.
Because he wasn't arrested, but you'd think that then Buddy would be arrested for forgery and wire fraud and all.
Was he? Did he look at the contract and be like, actually, these monthly payments are pretty manageable?
Oh, right. He does decide to in their bet.
Yeah, he exactly. Part of the bet was that he would buy the Plymouth.
But he's a successful doctor who just lost his other car. So.
Yeah, so honestly, why?
Ooh, you got me, buddy.
Why wouldn't he just buy? Yeah, you got me with these low monthly payments.
And I needed a car anyways. We established.
And you only took 1/3 of the commission,
which was,
right. So I got a deal on it too. Like, this actually isn't bad. You just got me a good deal on a new car.
That's what I mean.
Which I needed.
Which I needed.
Yeah.
It's not an extra car.
Yeah, it was a car which I needed because, as pointed out, my car has no doors and I live in Massachusetts.
That's an old folk song, I think.
I did like him adding that he could die as a result, because that's very true.
Yeah.
You could die driving a car with no doors in the snow.
Yeah. Oh, God.
It's true.
Yeah, that would
You could die with doors. So, yeah, definitely.
I never want to drive.
Spinning out and just get blown out of your car.
I don't know if there's enough money on Earth to make me drive in the snow again. That is a nightmare.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Steve, his car was actually like really old for optometrist.
Yeah, it was
money.
like an 80s car. It was
He
like
drove a Volvo, which is
Like an old Volvo.
it's a rich person's car. That's what like actual money people drive.
But it was
they drive their
seems a
dad's
little
car
tight.
that still runs well.
I mean, I guess
Throws his own Christmas
it was a
trees.
20-year-old Volvo for sure. But yeah,
But he's a bare minimum kind of guy, like he ordered that sweater from Amazon. He doesn't go out shopping around.
that's true.
He sucks, I think is the term. I'm not a doctor. But
I guess they had more than one car because
sure.
they didn't have the Christmas tree in the back of the Volvo.
No, that was. She also had. There was. His wife has a minivan. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
For the kids.
No. Matthew Broderick in this is a tall drink of warm tap water.
And that's totally an upper middle class white dad kind of like, I am going to keep my car going for as long as I absolutely can.
Absolutely.
The wife and kids can get a new car, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Even though you can afford a new car.
Yeah, absolutely.
Easily.
So that's it. I rather than go one by one, are any thumbs going up on this, guys?
Nope.
Is anyone brave enough?
No, it's not redeemable. If all of the jokes we mentioned had been played as jokes, maybe I could have given it a sideways thumb or something, but fuck Deck the Hall.
Yeah.
There were some funny moments, and I will admit there were some funny moments.
I don't know if I agree, Al.
I'm just kidding. There were a couple, but then I feel like they ruined them. Sorry,
there were
I
a
interrupted.
couple, but it's not redeeming. I will admit, I'm 48 years old. I get misty at things at the end when they started singing with the cell phone lights and stuff. It's like, oh, but that's not it. That doesn't redeem the movie as a whole.
No, I mean, see, the end of Scrooge does that to me. When Bill Murray gives his speech, and then it's
a good movie.
Put a little love in your heart. But that's what I mean. Yeah, like I can't deal with the knockoff version. The Dr. K. I want Dr. Pepper.
So, all right. That, I think, is about it for Deck of the Halls. We're calling it a day on that one, which means it's time to find out what we're watching next week on Holiday Phosphorescence. And this time, our chooser is Al. Al, tell us, what shall we be watching?
So it's funny that you brought up 8 Crazy Nights at the beginning of the show.
Okay.
Because as long as we've been doing Holiday Phosphorescence, there has been a slightly ignored holiday.
That's true.
In Holiday Phosphorescence.
Hollywood.
So, hang on. So, my pick for the next movie is The Hebrew Hammer.
Okay.
Really? That's
Adam
awesome.
Goldberg.
Really, The Hebrew Hammer, Adam Goldberg, an unorthodox Jew-exploitation hero, saves Hanukkah from the clutches of Santa Claus's evil son.
I fucking love this movie.
Wow.
I don't know how it's aged, but I loved this movie when it came out.
I can't remember.
Shabbat Shalom, motherfucker, is one of my favorite lines
I like
ever
Adam
uttered by a
Goldberg.
character.
So
I have not seen this movie. I asked Rabbi Yosef at school if he had seen this movie, and he said 20 years ago when it came out, he loved it. So I'm going to go with it.
The Hebrew.
It's like a Jewish Pootie Tang kind of.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay, I'm excited. The Hebrew Hammer. That's I think I saw it in 2003 and that was it. So
it used to get regular play on Comedy Central.
It's funny how few Hanukkah or theme movies there are, considering everyone thinks the Jewish people run Hollywood.
Right.
Nothing but Christmas.
So, all right. That is it. Next week on Holiday Phosphorescence, we will be watching The Hebrew Hammer. Until then, thanks for hanging out with us, everybody. This has been one of your hosts, Thoreau Smiley, just trying to support a camel on a podcaster's salary.
I'm Josh Cece, and Christmas means so much to me that I just have chocolate milk and French fries.
I'm Brian Lesh, and my appearance on today's episode is brought to you by the fine folks at General Motors. Buy a Jeep.
That's...
Let me just send that important thing off. Okay, I'm Alaric Weber.
All right.
That's their new ad campaign. Buy a Jeep.
Let me send this important thing off. All right.
We're getting straight to the point now. Buy a Jeep. From the guy that named cars. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.